Ahoy hoy! I'm Planarwalk, and welcome to the live open debate. Just had to prop my guitar up there. And we've got MCToon on moderation here. Let me unmute him so that everyone can hear him. And let me switch over to the... Let me switch over to things so that you can see things. Good. Alright. How's it going?
It's great.
Please do let me know if the volume leveling is all good, everyone in the chat, so that I don't get anything too loud or too quiet. And you did make a note of, are any flurfs going to show up today? What do you think?
I don't know. I just was sent over a little invitation in a different Discord server to the Flat Earth Debate Science and Pseudoscience.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'd actually like Anthony Riley to show up.
I specifically tagged him.
Okay. Yeah, if he shows up, then I'll be a happy person. Well, at least for a little bit.
Yep.
I feel like no, everything's good. I just hit the wrong button there for a second. But yeah, I should also make mention that I've now got 3 monitors. So
You're halfway there.
Why do I need 6?
What? Well, I have 6.
Oh, you've got 6? Damn, that's a lot of monitors. You see, I barely had any place to put my 3rd monitor.
Yeah, you need a stand to hold it up above the other monitors.
Yeah, I don't have enough disk space for a stand, unfortunately. But hopefully I do get a different disk sometime soon and just be able to prop one monitor up there. I think one of the difficulties that I'll face is where to put my camera. Because if I've got a monitor above one of my other monitors because my camera is just right up here on top of one of my monitors, so I'd need to have a bit of... And Dark Apocalyptia X donated $2 saying, I'm going to get a 5th soon. So he's almost...
Nice.
He's almost at your level.
So he'll be one away.
Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons why I don't have a whole lot of monitors is, first off, it's actually very difficult to find good monitors. Yesterday I went monitor shopping and I couldn't find any monitors with a DisplayPort input that was at the price that I was looking for.
Yeah, you pay a good amount.
Yeah, HDMI, sure. Although one of them did try to sell me a 4K monitor, which actually wouldn't have been bad. Like, considering the size of this monitor would actually be pretty good in 4K.
Yeah. Joseph Grant says I thought he meant a 5th of vodka. I have to admit, when I saw the word 5th, I went there too.
Casual Spaceman says that he has 1 monitor and he has no intention of getting 2, let alone 6.
Wow.
Can't do high IQ research if you don't have at least 2 monitors.
Yeah, where will all the tabs go?
Yeah. Need to be able to look. Yeah, one person said, why stop at 5? And I say, why stop at 6?
I had 8. But that was, the other 2 were like way off to the side. I couldn't even see them, so I disconnected them.
Yeah.
I use those for utility stuff.
Yeah, for me, I started off with 1 monitor on my laptop. And then I started connecting it up to a 2nd monitor that I had. And then eventually eventually when I got these two monitors that I've got now, I just use them. Sometimes I will connect one monitor up to the PlayStation, and that's the monitor that has the HDMI. But now the better monitor has the HDMI, so.
So now you do not pronounce H the way they do in England with the at the beginning.
Yeah, I can't even do the
H.
Yeah, I know
Well,
that's
not like Hebrew.
yeah. I can't really roll my H's or whatever it is.
Roll. Oh,
I can roll my R's a little bit. Not
like
as much.
a pirate.
Yeah, not as much
So,
as they do other places.
So while we're waiting, do you have anything? Because I got a question. If you're
Yeah.
so, well, it's not a question, just an opening. Tell us about SEAL Team 6. What you can, obviously, there's high eyes only type stuff you cannot say.
Yeah, I'm not authorized to disclose that information. But all I can say is it's really casual at the current point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Well, that's cool.
if you really want to know about SEAL Team 6, the only person that I suppose can really say much information is Simon Dan.
Or the agent.
Oh yeah, or the agent. But if you if you notice in my video, I never actually mentioned that I'm a part of SEAL Team 6. I only gave a hint.
Well, Simon Dan did today.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm just having a look at the chat because usually we have a flat earther show up in the chat by now.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh wait, no, I found one. Please complete all fields. Says water always seeks its level. NASA are Freemasons.
Yeah, I think he's just joking.
Yeah. I really don't get all the hatred towards the Freemasons, honestly.
It's a little crazy. Like they look for 33s and everything as if it matters. Like who cares?
Yeah, well, I don't
like.
I,
You're the only ones that care.
Yeah. Like if I search for numerology, you know, you get all this bullshit stuff. Let me just. Oh, there we go. It's showing up on stream now. How is master number calculated? So it says, write your birth date and numbers. Example, 1, 2, first of the, oh, goddamn American, 20th of January 1982. Although it says, you know, so it doesn't really matter where you're from. At least they accounted for that. Add the numbers in the year together. So it's 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 2. Add the month and day of birth to the year number. And it's 41. And add the end result together to obtain a 1-digit number. You know,
Okay.
And what is that number even supposed to mean?
Oh, well, is master number somehow a Freemason thing?
I don't know. Let me search that. Here we go. Oh wait, no. How do I find my master number? Wait, no. What is the master number?
Oh, there's a 33.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a 33. I'm not allowed to show that. So numbers are everywhere. There are 3 master numbers: 11, 22, and 33. They are known as master numbers because the experts believe they are powerful with added potential due to the pairing of the same numbers. People with master numbers in their name or date of birth are typically gifted with special tendencies that set them apart from the general public.
Ooh, this sounds like woo.
It does sound like woo. It's got master number 11, the old soul. Master number 22, the master builder. I mean, that sounds like Freemasonry.
Of course.
Master number 33, the master teacher. So it says, Master number 33 has no personal ambition. Instead, they want to bring about a spiritual uplifting to all mankind. You know, people often go about or 33 being a bad number. Like, why isn't a bad number here? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's...
So, do you not have an ad blocker running?
Oh, no, I don't have an ad blocker running.
Ooh, how do you survive? Man.
Yeah, someone asked, are you at a spirit science site? And I was, yeah. Yeah, they're at a spirit science site. You know, just showing these master numbers or whatever shit they're going.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Still have no flat earthers showing up. I messaged two. I messaged Sleeping Warrior and I messaged Why You Are an Idiot.
He's so fun.
Yeah. I actually...
I like him.
You do?
I like him. Yeah. I mean, he's just so goofy. Like, he's like, oh, you can't prove the core, therefore you can't prove gravity. Like, where did you get this core thing? Like, he has like this idea that somebody way back in his childhood said the core generates gravity. Therefore, that's what science says, and he relies on that. Like, that's not anybody's belief.
Oh, so what he actually means there is he saw this. He saw this thing in a science article or whatever it is saying that the core was rotating, causing fluctuations in the gravitational field, right? And he says,
Okay.
You can't prove. He thinks that means that the core is responsible for gravity. It's like, well, the core has mass, and mass is responsible for gravity, but you don't need to prove the core to realize that the Earth has mass, right?
Yeah. It's just a weird red herring that he loves.
Yeah. But we do have evidence for the core. Simon Dan in his latest video actually presented some good evidence for the core.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and Joseph Grant said the core generates the magnetic field. And,
look, Gary's here.
Gary. Who's Gary?
Gary Whitebenga.
Whitebenga.
He's cute. He's cute.
He says that he hasn't seen a picture of the core yet.
Yes, that's the only way to prove things, apparently. So if we had a picture of something that would prove that it exists. Hey, what's on your screen right now?
On my screen?
Yeah, it's a globe.
Yeah.
Proof right there. Thank you, Gary.
Yep. This globe here proves that... and one person says, you guys are comedy for us. Are we comedy for them?
I don't know. Maybe. Suppose there's 200 people in the world that agree with themselves. So, all right, Gary, get in here, man.
Yeah, come on. We need someone to debate. We're all friendly here. Wait, we pronounce what? Oh, one person says, "Oh, damn, it's Heath."
Yeah, how you doing, Heath? I commented on a couple of his videos. Just real simple. Well done, Planarwalk.
He actually mentioned in a live stream I actually got went on a live stream of his that he was researching a couple of things, and someone as soon as I entered, people started mentioning about Heath too or some. I can't remember exactly what was mentioned, but it was Heath had to basically respond, and he said, "Yeah, I had heard that there's a person that apparently looks like me called Planarwalk." Or maybe he said Planarwalk, I can't remember.
Yeah. Now, did they also mention that you are Wolfie 3010?
No, they didn't mention that I'm Wolfie 3010. But funnily enough, there was one person that said that it turns out that I'm not Wolfie 6020's son. I'm Wolf's son, as in Wolf Brothers Cinema.
Oh, who's that?
The person that plays the agent.
Oh. I don't know. Who do you look more like?
I think I actually probably look. I mean, I don't think that anyone's ever seen Wolfie 6020.
I think he is invisible, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm not invisible, so therefore I probably look more like Wolf Brothers Cinema. Yeah, people are mentioning the video from yesterday, or the video of Simon Dan's video, like, how did you get this number?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary's still... Here's the thing. This happens every single time. There'll always be one flat earther in the chat, or maybe two, and they just won't come into debate. They'll linger in the chat, so, spewing their bullshit.
Yep.
And it's like, if you come in here, then we can actually have a dialogue.
And it's not like you kind of know the environment here. It's not going to be unpleasant when it's not a rude yelling match.
Yeah. Generally, I like having a moderator along because I'm not good at moderation. And it was never my intent for me to just sit by and be a moderator. But, it's one of them things where I lost my train of thought. Yeah, where if I have a moderator along, there's probably not going to be any shouting matches. Like last time there was a bit of a shouting match, and I had to say, hey, I was trying to get people to, there was Fight the Flat Earth and Sleeping Warrior. So obviously that turned into a shit show. And I was saying,
yeah.
Apparently I look like a picture for a Feed the Children campaign.
Oh. Is Sally Struthers going to show up with some corn mush for you?
Is who going to show up?
Sally Struthers. She was on the commercials for feeding children in Ethiopia or whatever in the 80s and 90s. So sorry, I'm a bit old for that.
Yeah, I don't. Like, sure, I know a bit of. Yeah, one person just mentioned that I don't know who Sally Struthers is. I'll paste a link to the Discord in the live chat so that people can. So that if a flat earther comes along, we can have.
He's funny. Gary says you can't calculate something based on gravity because gravity doesn't. Lol. Except that you haven't established that gravity doesn't exist. It has been established to exist. You have to first disestablish.
Yeah.
And I was challenging him last night. He was commenting on one of my videos that we can use the formula for gravity to predict measurements at different places on the Earth because it's not consistent, right? The acceleration that we measure is different at different points of the Earth. We can use what we know of the Earth to calculate different values at different locations.
He just.
So-
I just want to address what he said. In the chat, you
Yep.
can respond to one person at a time rather than get swamped. And honestly, in the stream debate or in this, like if you join here, I generally try not to have too many globe earthers on so that you can actually respond to, so that we can actually have a back and forth. I do not like having too many people show up. So, continue.
So we can calculate using the WGS84 numbers, which is estimates the oblateness. The formula for gravity, F equals G M1 M2 all over R squared, and you can use the angular speed to calculate the centrifugal force for that location. Add all those together, and you can get really close to the measured values. And that is a confirmation of the accuracy of these of this science, right? Now, on the other hand, what do flat earthers have?
It looks flat, therefore it is flat. That's all I've heard from them, really.
Or, well, when it comes to gravity, they have, it's not gravity, it's something else. Okay, well, fine. Let's test your claim. Give us a formula, and we can give it a shot.
Yeah. I often hear them say density and buoyancy, and I was actually thinking, and I would like to actually discuss this with Sleeping Warrior if he's up for it, but he doesn't appear to be online. Or he seems to be idle. Maybe he's gone to sleep. But basically, what I'd like to... Shit, I forgot what I was... Yeah, what I'd like to do is I'd like to say, well, look, you can... How about we do an experiment to prove that... well, not to prove, but to give evidence for buoyancy, right? You have two eggs of the same density in a beaker. You hold them down to the bottom of the beaker, or in two different beakers. So two eggs, same density, two different beakers. One beaker will have a water with a salt concentration that would allow the egg to float, but not too much. It would only just allow the egg to float, right? And the second beaker would have a salt concentration that would, allow the egg to float much more easily, right? So, and you hold the eggs down to the bottom of the beaker. The more you have in the beaker, the better. And then you let the eggs go. Which egg will rise faster?
Well, the egg in the more dense solution.
Yep. And that's a prediction based on buoyancy.
Yep. You can do better than that even. You can calculate how much of the egg will be out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Or this solution based on the density of the egg and the water. You can do that on both of them. And you can and that would confirm the accuracy of the buoyancy formula.
Yeah.
So another thing then would be, okay, provide a density or a buoyancy formula that does not include G, since you don't think it has any impact on it. So that would certainly get our attention. Could you do that?
Yeah. Because I was thinking about it. There's a few experiments you can do. If you could even do the experiment that I just suggested, but instead of having two eggs of the same density, you have two objects of
different densities.
Not so much different densities, but different. They'll displace different amounts, right? So you could have a ball which has been blown up, and then the same ball which has been deflated, right? And then the ball which is blown up will rise faster than the ball that's been deflated, and that's because one of the factors of buoyancy is the amount of
Displacement.
Yeah, it's the volume of liquid displaced, I believe it is, or the volume of
Fluid.
Oh yeah,
Fluid is a better word because it works in air.
Oh yeah, true.
In gases as well as liquids. Yep.
Yeah, true. So yeah, volume of fluid displaced, and so that's another component to the buoyancy equation.
Yep. So Gary is saying acceleration is different all over the Earth. Lol. So we make up numerous different calculations. This stuff is hilarious. Actually, I have one calculation, and it works everywhere. That's what you don't get there, buddy.
Yes.
One formula gives accurate answers for all these different varying values of acceleration that we measure.
I just realized something.
You do have a couple people in the debate lobby.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are flat earthers, though. One of them has the flat earther role, but he's not an actual flat earther.
Oh.
Yeah, Alan.
Star Killer Sebi?
Yeah. He's not an actual flat earther, though.
Oh, okay.
Because, I could get someone who has the flat earther role, but, I'm wanting to actually debate a flat earther. Although there's one place to go. There is one place to go that I could try and debate a flat earther, but it's more like trying to ram your head into a wall and calling that a debate. And it's called Nathan Oakley's live debate.
Yeah, that one.
It's not even a debate.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's an interrupt session.
Yeah. Robert Legier 3 said, Sleeping Warrior should be getting ready for Fight the Flat Earth debate. Haven't you?
Is there one coming?
There was supposed to be, but I actually heard that Sleeping Warrior pulled out or something. Yeah.
I suppose he's gotten a lot of abuse this week.
Yeah.
I don't envy him. That's a tough position to be in. Let me tell you, I listen to him. I'm like, I think he could be a nice guy, but then he just goes off. I'm like, on nonsense.
Yeah, it's one of them things which I have much more respect for Sleeping Warrior than I do for Nathan Oakley, right? I mean,
for sure.
Nathan Oakley is one of the people that I have the least amount of respect for in the world. I actually tried to get a debate with Nathan Oakley, and I said, moderated debate, one-on-one. I'll actually bring it up. Just got to go. I'll bring it up on my phone, not on my computer. Don't want to show any things on Gmail which might have to do with Mark Leventhal or something.
Yeah. Actually, Mark stepped down. It's a different guy in charge now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I plan to cover that in a future video here.
Okay. Is this wait, are you talking about the OSI stuff or the
Yeah.
Mark Leventhal?
Yeah, the OSI, different guys in charge now.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of turnover in these organizations.
True.
Yeah.
Invite Nathan Thompson to an open debate.
Oh my. He's debating Mick West this weekend at the Escape the Matrix convention in Vegas.
Okay.
Which I think is mostly put on by Tim Osmond with a Z from Infinite Plane Society, or at least he's heavily involved. So, yeah, I wish Tim good luck this weekend. I looks like it'll be good. Mad Mike Hughes is going to be there, and who I interviewed.
Yeah.
Interesting guy. Flat Earther going in a rocket to the Kármán line to see the flatness of the Earth, or not.
Yeah. I just brought up the thing that Nathan Oakley sent to me. So I sent him an email being very polite, and at least I thought I was. At least I thought I was being polite, because essentially what I wanted to do is I wanted to have it me versus Nathan, a moderator. I didn't care who the moderator is. I even thought, we could have Sleeping Warrior as the moderator. I don't think that he would... and it would be something like, would have a few minutes, have something like 10 minutes of opening statements each, right? Then 2 minutes, 2-minute blocks to sort of address the previous statements, and then it would be back and forth until we got to a sort of open discussion where one person would ask a question and the other person would have to respond, and then it would be something like 5 minutes for closing statements, right?
Yep.
I didn't tell him that because it wasn't something that I had to get him to agree to a debate first. But his response to me saying that it would be a formal setting with a moderator to enforce the rules we agree on, and I said that it can be streamed to your channel for your viewers, and I'll probably stream it to my channel for my viewers, right? And his response was, "I run a debate show. If you want to debate me, join. If you don't, then fuck off." Sent from my iPad.
Yeah, that's his standard. That's his standard tuck tail response.
Yeah, it's not like I was, I was just saying, it could be something formal. I don't think that anybody has done a really formal debate in the. I don't think there has really been a formal debate between globe earthers and flat earthers. There may have been a couple, but okay, I actually just got a response from someone. I'm just going to respond here. You can talk for a bit if you want.
Oh, okay. Let's see what. Oh, I am. So Mad Mike Hughes is gonna try to launch himself to space. So he's going up in a rocket that somebody else is building. He's not the main engineer in it. But that rocket's being lifted up about a third of the way with a big balloon, and then when he gets up to altitude, he's gonna, punch the go button, and it will launch or start the engines going up to the Kármán line there, and then parachute itself down. So I'm actually have an interview set up with the guy building the rocket for next week here. So that guy is interesting. He's been around and helped a ton of stuntmen building their stuff. Oh, he's crazy stories.
Yeah.
So that should be good.
Yeah. I would like to build rockets, but there is a money sort of component to it. You've got to.
Yeah, they can get expensive.
Yeah. You could try making millions of dollars off PayPal and then building rockets. That could work.
That's a good idea. Let's do it.
So first we've got to create PayPal, and then.
Oh, I have a friend with a DeLorean. We could go back in time and beat him to it. Did you got a response to what he say?
Yeah, I'm just going to
Ceti Alpha. The guy needed a lab rat and he found Mike Hughes. Actually, I think Mike Hughes wanted to. Well, Mike Hughes has been a stuntman for a long time, so he's. I think it's the other way around. I think Mike Hughes wanted to do it, and he found the right man to build a rocket. Who knows?
Yeah.
What's all the helium going to cost? A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like, from what I can tell, it looks like Sleeping Warrior doesn't want to join. At least just from what I can tell. But he might, you never know. He thinks that, basically, he thinks that I'm representing the independent variable, misrepresenting the independent variable.
Oh, yeah. His particular narrow view of science.
Yeah. I honestly do want to ask, what can his independent, or why is his independent variable superior to what I consider an independent variable? And I do want to explain why he's misinterpreting the sources, because when he says that the independent variable is the cause, it's like, okay, if let's take the equation A equals F over M, right?
Yep.
What we can do there is we can calculate the acceleration of a given object, and so that would be your dependent variable. The independent variable would be either your mass or the force that you apply to the object. But
But he's gonna say that you have to output the cause, which is not actually what's the only way that science is concerned with.
well, the output. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, what I'd say there is that if you have mass as your independent variable, it isn't that mass is causing the acceleration. It does have an impact on the acceleration. No one's going to dispute that. So if you keep the force that you apply as a constant variable, so let's just say that you constantly apply 50 newtons of force to this object. Then, yeah, so 50 newtons of force, just trying to think. And and this object, I don't know, is 5 kgs. I don't know. So you just apply constant force. As you increase the mass, the acceleration will become less and less by applying the same force. So there is a link between the two things. That does not mean that mass causes acceleration, because it actually it's more appropriate to say that mass causes a decrease of acceleration, right? But it's not so. Even that is technically incorrect. It's a change. It's a change of mass would mean that there would be a decrease in acceleration. So you can't just say that mass causes less acceleration. Well, what are we saying is the standard of acceleration, and you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's also
he's just too much about cause and as if, and I don't know if he like read one article somewhere and he's just stuck on it, and that's his gospel for what is science because it works for him.
Well, essentially what he does is he will point out all these things where it says that the independent variable is the cause, and he'll say, see, therefore it is the cause. And it's like, I don't disagree that we can take the independent variable and identify things that may be causing other things from it. I don't disagree with that, but what he's doing is he's taking such a narrow view that doesn't allow for anything else. Take, for example, density, or his whole density spiel, right? It's not just the density of the liquid that it's in that's causing things. It's the density of the object that he's putting in other things. So it's you can have there's generally more than one factor when it comes to physics.
Yeah, and that's the key, is you have to isolate out your confounding variables, which is not what he did in his experiment.
Yeah. I mean, there are there are things that he could possibly do with his what is it, there are things that he could probably do with his definition of an independent variable, but they're not enough. There's not a lot of things that he can do with his independent variable. And that's what I'm.
Yeah, and that's why he sticks to it, because then basically it casts doubt on everything, and so then he gets to say, well, it looks flat, therefore it's flat, and you can't use, your independent variable that you're not personally manipulating, therefore it's not a science experiment. Which is, that's not what actual scientists go on. Just him.
Yeah. I'm going to put out a video in a couple of days, and so far I'm thinking that it's just going to be a video explaining what Anthony Riley gets wrong about the independent variable. And, he says that he says that the problem with my video, my first video, was that I didn't include any sources. Well, next time I might include his sources.
Yeah, I find it interesting. He did. We reviewed. I reviewed his video where he had a science instructor talking about changing the volume of a balloon, a helium balloon, by warming it up, and then it would rise instead of being sinking, right? And she said, well, density, you're decreasing the density, and that's why it goes up. And he just stuck onto that as if she's like totally admitting it. But, if you went to her and asked her, is density a replacement for gravity? She's like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Right. So you're trying to like force something into her, that she's saying it, but she would not agree with that in one bit. And he did the same with Musser in his snapping the wand thing.
Yeah, the way that Anthony Riley goes about things, and I think this actually gives me more of an idea of what to talk about in my next video, is he goes about things. He thinks that there's only one reason for things, and it's like, no, the world is complex. It's not, take the equation A equals F over M, right? That's try and disprove A equals F over M. Although there's also a whole lot of other variables which make A equals F over M even more complex. Oh, I just said. I should also probably mention people should go to the rule. If people want to join this, they need to have a look in the rules in the House of Planarwalk, just so that they can actually join this debate. Because it happens every time. We never seem to. There always seems to be that it doesn't have many flat earthers joining.
Yeah, they like to work on the keyboard a lot.
Yeah. Maybe they. Maybe it's because they can't say space comma in real life.
That could be.
Yeah, one person just said, Planarwalk, I'm pretty sure that A equals F over M is definitionally true. If force and acceleration exist, then by relevant definitions, A equals F over M. What were you about to say?
I was just talking about Gary. It seems like he's gone. Gary Wybenga.
Yeah.
But I thought he could have a good conversation in here.
Yeah, like he. I thought maybe we could have a flat earther. People are now space commoring.
You can't say it, but you can hear it.
But essentially, I try and get flat earthers on, and flat earthers don't join us. It's one of them things which, Nathan Oakley always gets globe earthers joining, and I'm surprised he hasn't actually run out of globe earthers.
Well, I think he has. Who's that he always has in? Oh, it's like his standard guy. Starts with a G. Anybody know? I just can't stand watching the show much. So,
Yeah.
But I think that guy is kind of like, if you've ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters, they always play the Washington Senators. I think it's the same team every time, right? It's part of the show.
Yeah.
Of the Harlem Globetrotters, and they of course beat them every time. You know, the Harlem Globetrotters have a perfect record for 40 or 50 years, whatever, against the same team. So I think that's what it is, right? Like,
Yeah,
that guy is just the default, and whether he's, just playing along because he likes it or because he's been asked, or if he really believes it. But what I've heard, he doesn't do a very good job. So he provides a good, like, straight man for Nathan to ridicule and attack.
I'll ask Osher if he wants to join. I'll message him.
Oscar?
Osher. He's one of the people from Tim Osmond's crew, I think. Because Sleeping Warrior, I don't think he's going to join. He doesn't like me because I said, there's philosophy in science, and rather than coming on to explain why I'm wrong, he's just saying, because you're a pseudoscientist, I'm not going to debate you. Well, we can debate why I'm a pseudoscientist. I don't think I'm a pseudoscientist.
Sleeping Warrior just now commented on one of my comments to his goofy density video.
Okay.
Oh, come on. He's busy doing comments and he can't come talk to you. I'm going to ask him.
But, yeah. It's always...
So, yeah, I go ahead.
I wasn't going to say much, but you're saying?
Oh, okay. His density video that I had reviewed, that has the bowling balls in it, in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted the formula for buoyancy, and his only answer is calculating it doesn't prove it exists. So that, and of course, proof isn't something science does, but it's all been done before. This isn't new stuff, and so there's plenty of evidence for it, plenty of research has been done for it. But once you get to the point of having a solid formula like that,
yeah,
you just use that formula to test whether or not it accurately predicts. And once you know it accurately predicts, it lends credibility to the to what your claim is, right? And the more universal that formula can be applied, the stronger it is. So if you don't have an alternative and you have a formula that's really, really good, then you have nothing, really.
Yeah, Sleeping Warrior seems to think that if you prove something else, like he says that he proves because he's proving that density is because he thinks that he's proving that density is the thing that causes objects to rise and sink. Then he thinks that disproves. Karsten Top. I think that they are a flat earther, possibly. Anyway, what he seems to think is that because he thinks that he's proven one thing, that automatically means that other things are disproven, whereas that may not be the case.
Karsten Top says, let's see, most flatties have been homeschooled by priests. I don't think he's a flatty.
Okay.
He's just messing around.
I'm just going to... it's always disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they... I'm just going to try and You can talk while I,
Uh-huh.
because it's good to have people talking on this thing, so that I can.
Yes,
I can
I didn't prepare anything. So,
Oh, math magic is not reality.
math magic, yes. Um, so, too bad Gary's not here anymore. I had a whole bunch of things that I asked him to do, and he did none of it. He was saying butterflies. It's like I can't take you seriously if you're talking about butterflies being able to defy gravity. Like, it's strong enough to hold the oceans, but weak enough to not prevent a butterfly from flying. Like, you don't even understand what the claim is, right? It's based on the mass of the object that's being pulled, not the strength of gravity is like universally strong no matter what it's being pulled. It's
It's also based on what other forces are acting. Because if there's a force acting on an object and it's operating in the other direction, so if you've got gravity acting downwards and you've got another force that's acting upwards, and the force that's acting upwards is greater than the downwards force, then obviously it's going to go upwards.
yeah,
Simple
it's
stuff.
you have to sum the vectors. So I gave him the formula. Here's the formula for gravity, and do the math. He didn't. And then he's like, same thing. A balloon goes up, therefore gravity doesn't exist. Like, oh no, here's the formula for buoyancy. Here's the density of air. Here's the density of helium. Here's the mass of an empty balloon. Calculate the buoyant force. Calculate the force due to gravity. Which is more? He didn't do it.
One thing.
I know why.
Yeah.
You know why he didn't do it?
Why?
Because it's math, and math is kryptonite to flirfs.
Yeah. One thing I do want to put the challenge out to Anthony Riley to see if he can calculate an alternative to buoyancy using density. But the thing is, I don't think he can, because what you need is you literally need something like mass to be able to calculate anything, whether it be so somehow the mass, he'd need to incorporate the mass of the object that's in the liquid, and the formula for density contains the density of the liquid, but it doesn't contain the density of the object that he's putting into the liquid. So he'd actually probably have to create a much more complicated formula for density than much more complicated formula for density than the formula that we have for buoyancy.
Yes. Right, and I don't know. Yeah, and in the end, you have to output force or acceleration of some sort, and you can't do that with density. It's when you do the dimensional analysis, density is mass over volume, right? So kilograms per cubic meter, and acceleration is meters per second squared. They're completely incompatible. So how are you? The formula has to output meters per second squared somehow.
Someone said summon Arwen. He's good for a laugh. And one person said just tried to get right the hand in here, but he wouldn't bite this time. Right the hand was. I mean, he is one person. Like, people were congratulating me on remaining calm, but it's when I was debating right the hand, but
Yeah, he can't control himself. He won't stop talking. I was listening in on. He was in a Discord server, and he wouldn't let the flat earthers talk.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he's just a horrible person. So, the only way that you could debate with him, or actually to have a conversation at all, is to basically put him in timeout until it's time for him to talk, right? So then
I
unmute him, and then let him talk, and then mute him again.
yeah.
I see Buoyanator's in here, the guy that kicked him out of off the non sequitur show.
Yeah, Carsten says density lacks a directional vector. I actually wouldn't mind getting Buoyanator on to moderate at some point, actually, if he wants to take a bit of time to moderate. But it generally seems to be we need to wait an hour at least for a flat earther to get in.
We're getting close. 3 minutes.
Yeah. It's always disappointing when I so far I have managed to get flat earthers in all the time, but Buoyanator is saying moderate what, and it's moderating these debates.
Moderate what? Yeah.
What's your Discord tag? 0132132. Just put it in the chat so that I can, because you get to join debate waiting lobby, and if you're already in there, but I don't realize it, then because we've got Alan Evans, I don't know if he's the same person. I'm really bad at recognizing people.
So 0132132. Can I hop in and argue that gravity and flat Earth aren't necessarily incompatible? There are, that I know of, there are 4 answers or flat Earth suggestions for gravity, and for some reason all of the YouTubers go with the least good one.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
I was just agreeing that
it doesn't exist. So another one is the Flat Earth Society. They don't have at the Flat Earth Society website. They don't have like this is what we believe. They have a wiki page, and the people that moderate the wiki page put up what they think. But you get on the discussion boards, this stuff is all over the place.
Yeah.
But they say it's accelerating upwards at 9.8 meters per second squared, which fails because, as we said before, the value of gravity varies all over the Earth, and so that doesn't provide an explanation for it.
They also say that magnetism is, like, some people also say that magnetism.
Magnetism or electromagnetism.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't work. I guess that's 5 and 6. Those aren't even serious, because as soon as you say electromagnetism, you say, oh, well, we can calculate the force that we're going to feel using Coulomb's law. But as soon as you have something that's grounded, then there would be no force, right? So if you're holding up a stick, or if you have a wire going from an object up or down to the ground, then it's grounded. There's no voltage potential between them. And so then it would not experience any force. It doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm just going to drag 0132132 and to the... Ahoy, hoy.
Yo. So yeah, I just want to say normal Newtonian GMMR gravity can actually sort of work on a flat Earth. So what people usually get wrong, they think that GM M over R squared, it's just to the center of mass. It's actually just to whatever point particle has some mass. Now, usually there's something called the shell theorem that means that basically, effectively, it is the center of mass for any given object. But if you have an infinite plane and you do the same calculus, then at every point on that plane, as long as it's of a uniform density, you'll actually get the same downward acceleration.
Okay.
So it's actually, I actually found a thing for it. I remember I did the calculus.
That's Tim Osman with a Z from the Infinite Plane Society.
That's
That's
why
their thing.
is that why they say there's an infinite plane, or is it just because like there's
Yeah,
still a flaw with it, but
oh yeah, there's certainly flaws, but that one I think is one of the best answers because it actually, it allows gravity, which you just can't deny. It allows gravity
things
to
don't
stay.
fall down, MCToon. Haven't you seen balloons?
Yeah, they float. Oh,
But, yeah, because then you can still have the Cavendish experiment. You can have most outcomes of experiments involving attraction between masses. Like the only thing is, it would be ridiculously unstable. So like you could have that for like a couple years, but you have like a pebble somewhere on that infinite plane that throws off the whole thing, like very quickly.
yep.
Like, if you try to do like simulations of that, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up for very long.
Yeah, that's why
Like,
when I first was thinking about all this flat Earth stuff, I was thinking, surely you have to have something that would be that we can consider gravity, even if it's not actually even.
even if it's not like mass attracts mass Newtonian.
Yeah, even if it's not that, you'd have to have something that would cause things to fall, and
Yeah, like, and they don't get that that's actually what like the term gravity like mean. Like it's the same as the term weight. Like the gravity of a situation and the weight of a situation, they're the same fucking thing. People just don't use them interchangeably. Like gravity is used in a scientific context, but like the force of gravity on an object is just its weight. Like things fall down. They could try to explain that in ways that make sense, but they keep going with density, which doesn't work as like a fundamental force as they're trying to claim it does.
Yeah.
I
But
just
yeah, I just wanted to talk about the infinite plane thing. I'm gonna continue drinking. I don't know, man. Hopefully, you guys can get an actual flat earther in.
Yeah, I just Osher got back to me, and apparently he's in Vegas.
Who is?
Osher, the flat earther that's in this Discord server.
Oh,
He got back to me and he
nice.
said, "We're having an expo in Las Vegas this weekend. I'm in Vegas now. Maybe after this weekend."
He's at Exit the Matrix. So 0132132. What about that? The my favorite one is centripetal, centrifugal.
How does that one work? Like
spinitude. So imagine a bucket with water in it and just spinning it around, right? The water in that bucket.
Like, wouldn't we notice pretty quickly? Like, I don't know. No, go on. Like, explain how it's supposed to work physically.
So it would be, you'd have to imagine some apparatus that would exist, and we would be rotating around it, in a gigantic radius, but at a high speed. So you have some sort of a dish that's flat, and then like cables going up to the center point. So I don't know if you've read Ringworld series by Larry Niven. The scale of it would be massively huge, like in
yeah, there. Ringworld wouldn't work though. It's too big and kind of unstable. But yeah,
a Dyson sphere. But I mean more, even a little different from Ringworld. But Ringworld kind of does it too.
Yeah, it uses it uses what you're talking about, the centripetal force, to kind of mimic gravity.
Yep.
And yeah, like that's the same thing as what they propose for space habitat. Like if they ever tried to just put a place for people to live in space, they'd probably try to have it spinning well enough that there would at least be some sort of gravity on the outer rings.
Yep.
But yeah, I wonder how fast it would have to be if you were going to say there was one rotation for each day. I bet we could actually... Here, give me a second.
Well, they generally still have the sun being local. And so then that would be a separate phenomenon. We would, the arm that we're swinging on would be many, millions of miles long.
Yeah, but if we want to I'm just saying, if we want to pretend that it's a day, I bet we can figure out exactly how long or how long that would have to be. I just don't remember the equation. I think it's v squared over r, right?
You are correct.
All right, so
one thing I'd just like to say is Skyfly Bry. Is he a flat earther or a globe earther? Oh, he's a globe earther.
I don't know.
Because I've heard that name before, and I was just wondering. Okay. I think he's a globe earther. And yeah, we've got Multi Tom Tom in the chat. And as I said, he's always welcome to come on. He's not getting, he always tries to, last time he was in the chat, he said, I only appear for half the super chat money. It's like, dude.
It reminds me of Fozzie.
Fozzie?
Fozzie was negotiating for a raise with Kermit, and he wanted 30%. Kermit wanted to give him 10%. They settled on 20%. And then Kermit walks away, and somebody was overhearing. It's like, oh, that's good. You got a raise. How much you get now? Nothing. You get a 20% raise of nothing. So multi Tom Tom, maybe just one Tom Tom could join.
Yeah,
we don't need all of you, just one.
What does he think that Globe Earthers asked for 50% of the super chat money when they go on Nathan Oakley's show?
Yeah. I mean, I would demand it. Like, if you're gonna get a big name like some guy that no one's heard of, yeah, I definitely demand. What do you say, 50%?
Was on Behind the Curve. They tried to get what's his name, Math Powerland Matt guy, and he demanded a huge percentage.
Yeah, it's one of these things which like for me, if I go into a debate, if I were to go into Non Sequitur, for example, or if I go onto Team Skeptics channel, or if I go onto Fight the Flat Earth channel, I don't expect to see any money from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and does it take time? Yeah, it takes time, but it's not. I'm not going on there to get a whole lot of money. It's something that I'm going on to talk, because I want to talk about things, If you're really into all this flat earth stuff, shouldn't it be more about trying to convince people that the earth is flat rather than trying to make money? And if you convince people, to be fair, if you convince people that the earth is flat, you can make money from it.
Yeah, a few people do. Somebody's saying toothless hookers are getting expensive. That's why Multi Tom Tom needs the money. Oh, sorry. And then Chrismer. Now we shouldn't be denigrating toothless sex workers.
Okay. I think that it would be... Shit. I want to convert that to kilometers.
Oh, you've got to... do you have to divide meters by 1,000 to get kilometers? Oh, no, it's multiply.
It's multiply, because kilometers are longer, right? Okay. Yeah, it looks like it would only be about 135 kilometers. That seems pretty damn short. I don't know if I'd buy that. I might have clicked something wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna go because I'm pretty drunk. But yeah, so drunk people don't math well. But yeah, you guys have good ones.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, good luck finding an actual flat earther, because there just aren't enough. No, that's the wrong way to put that. There just aren't enough willing to come on fucking shows and have debates that are fun to watch. But
Yeah.
yeah, good luck.
I mean, wasn't Multi Tom Tom last time? I can't remember who said it, but someone said "bitch made" about Multi Tom Tom.
Yeah.
I've seen him go on one stream ever, and that was Geo's stream. Otherwise, he just likes to spout bullshit from chat. Like, all he ever proves is that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know what reception he gets in Flat Earth chats, if they're just like, yeah, this guy's on it. Like, I don't know. But for normal, sane people, it's just like, oh, you don't know anything. But yeah, good luck finding someone. You guys have a good night.
No.
Yeah, thanks.
There was one time when I was going to go on someone else's channel, and this person doesn't have super chat enabled, so I couldn't have asked for 50% of super chats, even if, well, I could have, but it wouldn't have made any difference. But yeah, I was asking to go on someone else's channel, and they actually didn't let me on, even though a few weeks prior they had said, "Oh yeah, you can come on," or something like that. And this was Validation Boys stream.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to go on was because it was something in particular that I wanted to address, because he was saying about the Christchurch shootings, and I actually know someone that was near them. At least he wasn't saying that they were. At least they weren't saying that they were fake.
Yeah.
At least he wasn't saying that they're fake. That's one thing that I'll give him props on, because, you know, someone says that they were fake, then oh boy.
Yeah,
I actually know
that
someone.
gets old really fast.
I actually know someone who was near them, so. But yeah, I probably shouldn't talk much about that, because that's a great way to get demonetized.
Yeah. For good reason. That's for good reason.
Wait, did I have a $5? Someone says $5 about a $5 super chat. I remember getting a $2 super chat, but did I get a $5 super chat? I'm gonna just check right now. Open a new window or new tab. Yeah, I just got a $2 super chat. That reminds me of, I think it was last week or a week before. No, it was a week.
Oh my goodness. Hold on a second.
What?
Flat Out Hero's here.
Oh, we got Flat Out Hero.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever happened to him? I mean, I know that he's sort of come back, but
he said he got busy doing some businessy things, and well, good for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's back, or if he's just like somebody if he found his phone again, or the charger.
Yeah. I mean, but one thing I'm just trying to think of is, I did say that I wouldn't debate him until he paid to charity, but it did look like that he paid to charity, but didn't he get it returned or something? I'm just trying to...
Yeah, he said to us in that we're in a chat with him that all the checks got sent back.
Okay.
So he somehow didn't address the envelopes correctly. I don't know. I don't know how you messed that up, but...
But then again, to be fair, this is an open debate.
Yeah.
So I suppose I could make I suppose I could make an exception because it is an open debate. People are saying for him to get in there, so yeah. I'll just link him the Discord server. Hopefully he can actually get on, because I don't know if he has Discord. So I just sent him, or I just told him the link.
I sent it to him too, so... I don't know if he has Discord. It might take him a little
Yeah, mate.
sign up.
Yeah, Multi Tom Tom is still going on in the chat saying Charisma is a keyboard warrior. It's like,
So, Multi Tom Tom, do you want to debate Prismer? Maybe he would.
I just find it funny how he's calling Charisma a keyboard warrior. It's like pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
What is Multi Tom Tom not a keyboard warrior? He's saying I'd debate Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I'd debate what's his name, Mark Sargent, but there's fat chance of that ever happening. Hello, AB Science.
Ooh. Now it's serious time. No more screwing around.
Why is that?
Well, because AB Science is here.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So
now, if it's party time when Rapid X shows up.
Yeah, I need to actually work on something with Rapid X, but I just haven't had much time. And AB Science says, "Hello, how's it going?" He's got a nice voice. I'll admit that. AB Science has a really nice voice.
He keeps saying he's an immigrant. I don't. He's got some man of mystery thing going on.
Could be an agent.
Could be.
You know, it's always possible that he could be, you know, the fifth or sixth member of SEAL Team 6. I don't know.
Could be. Somebody says konnichiwa.
Ah. Ohayo gozaimasu.
It's not morning here.
It is here, though. It's 18 past 9. I get the feeling that Flat Out Hero is trying to figure out how to Discord.
Yeah. On his phone, it works. GeoStreamer, I actually saw your debate with Multi Tom Tom from January last year. You could be twice as drunk and still make more sense than that dense dum-dum.
Maybe he can prove that density is a force then.
There you go.
It'd be interesting. Like AB Science just said, Flat Out Heroes join the debate. It'd be interesting if he does. I've sent him a link. But you know, it's all up in the air currently it's up in the air as to whether we actually get a Flat Earther on.
Yeah, I messaged on Discord, Sleeping Warrior. He responded.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said hey. He said yes. I said join Planarwalk's debate. He didn't answer.
Yeah,
he does that to me. I email him, he doesn't answer. I sent him a friend request on Facebook. He rejected it. I'm starting to feel a little hurt.
Yeah, he just said, "I'll address you in your own video. You made some interesting quotes, and that's why he's not joining the debate apparently." And I sent, okay then. I feel like it would be faster to address it in a debate. It would be though, wouldn't it? You know, rather than having to have this back and forth through videos,
through videos.
I'm just going to. I think Jet Asket might be Flat Out Hero.
G what?
Jet Asket.
Jet Asket. Oh. You just join?
I'm just saying, follow the instructions in rules.
Ah, yes, Jet Tasket 420.
Yeah. So essentially, if you want to join the debate, there's a few instructions. You basically have to give yourself a role. That's so that I know whether you're a flat earther or a globe earther, because otherwise would be overflowed. Otherwise would be flooded with globe earthers coming in. So.
So Zep Tepe had said that you should get McFlatty in, but that guy could never hold a debate. He's too.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you see his video trying to support Sleeping Warrior and in density?
No, I didn't. I didn't see that video.
It was quite terrible. And he thinks that he's supporting the idea of density. I don't want to. It was too good. You got to go look.
Yeah. I just saw someone join debate lobby and then they didn't. I saw a comment recently on my channel. Let me see if I can go dashboard. You get to see all my stats. Yeah. McFlatty commented, "What? That was my voice when you said Planner Jordan B hero here. What is the switchcraft?"
Yes, that was weird. So what about Wolfie had said something on one of your videos.
Oh yeah, he said something about good job, son, or something like that. I'm pretty sure the meme has reached him by now.
Yeah, it seems.
Yeah, so now Jetasket just has to join debate waiting lobby because he's given himself the flat earther role. Join the debate waiting lobby voice chat. There we go.
Oh, is that gonna work?
Hopefully he hopefully he works it out.
Where's that at? Oh my gosh. I gotta tell you, when I first started on Discord, there's plenty of confusion.
Oh, there we go. He's figured it out. All right, let's bring him in. Ahoy hoy. I don't know if he can.
No sound. You're muted if you think you're talking.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Or yeah, you're not muted. There's no microphone or something.
Yeah, it's AB Science that's muted, not Jetaskus. The lack of eggs here is disappointing. Well, that's what someone said in the Kevin Issett said the lack of eggs here is disappointing, and it's. I don't have many eggs. In fact, last time I got eggs was actually from my parents' place. Free range eggs.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's always nice to have free range eggs. Because my parents have a bit of a hen house. Moldy Tom Tom is saying reinforce the globe with that pic on the screen. So whilst we're waiting for Flat Out Hero to figure out his microphone settings, one thing that I named this stream is the globe useful, because I thought I'd get someone on that might and I want if we got a flat Earth, I was saying, how useful do you think? Do you think the globe has any use to anyone? Right, and obviously they're going to go, well, no, because for me, I don't use. For me and you might be a different story, but at least for me, I don't need to know that the Earth is a globe. I don't need to know that it's flat either. It doesn't really make a difference either way. You could get someone like, but then when you get someone like Wolfie6020 on, then, you can, if you get someone like Wolfie6020 on, then he needs to know whether the Earth is a globe or not, because it's important.
Yeah, it matters for his job.
Yeah. Because, it's one of them things where it's like, well, who does it matter to? And you could actually figure out who it matters to, and then whoever it matters to would be able to, if you become a pilot, not just Bob Nodal, but an actual proper commercial pilot.
Yeah, you could probably do, single engine stuff pretty fine without understanding it. But once you get into international flights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought someone was joking. I thought Multi TomTom was joking because I thought it was just someone else that said Wolfie is ex-military, therefore an agent. But he says,
"Oh, jeez."
Is Multi TomTom a Poe?
Every pilot has to be ex-military then, I guess, or an agent, I guess. Yeah, the problem is the number of people that have to be in on it is pretty big.
I think...
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Word.
Been a long time since we talked. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Planarwalk?
I'm doing pretty good myself. So, what we're just talking about is
the importance of the globe, or if it's flat. You don't think that would be the most important thing in the world? Because I think that affects everyone.
I think that it affects. I think that at the most, to someone like me, it would affect something like an international flight. Like I'm planning on taking an international flight later this year.
Let me put it in perspective for you. Would the fact that there's unexplored lands, or at least the public has never been to any of these lands, and Admiral Byrd had said that there's at least one that's as big as the United States, and call it Little America, that's directly south of the South America. If you go over the ice wall, keep going south off the tip of Peru or whatever, then you'll see Little America. And if there's that one, then there's going to be more lands, obviously, because we have old maps that have the other lands outside. So if that one's there, then there's going to be more lands. Then there's going to be no more starvation on Earth. No more kids being hungry anywhere in the world. If people need a job, right there, you've got all the money in the world that can be invested in hiring anybody that needs a job in the world to go and explore these places and to go and live in these places while you build them up. It would really it's the answer to everything if you really think about it. Right there, there's no more need for jobs. Everybody's got money. Everybody has an income. Everybody has a source of. Everybody can be productive. It's a major deal.
But the thing is, first you've got to show that these maps are accurate, because, or not so much accurate, but that they that what they're portraying. Because sure, the inner parts of these maps might be accurate because we know that.
That's not what comes first, though, bro. What comes first is the exploration to discover if they're accurate or not.
So.
But we have explored.
Huh? What was that?
But we have explored.
Okay, you haven't seen any video of people exploring like they should in Antarctica. Everything in Antarctica is super secretive. It's all it's all movie style, not documentary style. If you do see anything that comes out of Antarctica, it's nothing that's real. It's all edited. scripted propaganda
So
that comes out of
all we need
I
is
have
one
friends-
example.
I have
Oh,
colleagues
yeah.
who are on Antarctica at this moment.
You have what?
I have seen images that they've taken with just standard iPhone cameras from Antarctica.
Okay, but do you know that they're in Antarctica for sure? Like, or like, who are these people that are taking iPhone images, and where in Antarctica are they? Are they showing you the GPS of the location that they're at specifically?
Well, I'm sure I can get the GPS tags if I were to dive into the images.
Hey, if you can do
wouldn't
that,
be a
by all
problem.
means. All right, if you can do that, by all means. I'd be really interested to see what their
I'll have a
GPS
look
location
into it.
says. Yeah.
But you can easily just go to Antarctica if you get the right permit or.
Mm-mm. It's the only treaty that has never been broken by any country in the world. It's the oldest treaty. It's the oldest treaty.
That doesn't change what the treaty says. The treaty does not say you cannot go there.
Yes,
People are allowed to go there.
It's not and explore by themselves. You cannot go.
Please
go
tell
there
me
and explore.
what paragraph
The only
and line
thing-
does it say that? Hey, hold on. What paragraph
says
and
it
line? You're
throughout
making a
it.
claim. No.
Throughout it.
It's not that big. Please give the paragraph and line
It is
so
big.
that we can look at it.
I don't know the paragraph and line exactly, but
Okay,
it
so-
is that big. There's a lot that's involved in that treaty. There's a lot of pages to that treaty.
You've
But-
clearly
but-
not read
but
it.
the military-
It's not.
well,
Hold
yeah,
on
I
a
have
second.
read.
You are lying right now because you've not read
really?
it. It's not that big. It is
I
not
haven't.
that big.
Okay.
So
You might
what
have
line
read it. You might
says
have read the
that you
summary
cannot?
version.
That I'm looking right now at the PDF from December 1, 1959, the Antarctic Treaty.
Can you send me a link to that?
Sure.
I'm just...
I'll give you the treaty page here. I'll put it in.
It's at least
text.
5 pages, 5 to 10 pages, man.
The entire treaty is actually 53 pages, but a lot of it is
Yeah.
boilerplate and it's in different languages. So the bulk of it is not in it's not 53 pages of content.
How many
it's repetition, right?
How many pages are of English? Like 5, 10?
Counting.
Yeah.
I think the summary of Article 1 pretty much hits the nail
11
on the head.
pages.
Yeah, it's exactly right. That's the one I read.
So
Okay, the part that talks about it being militarily guarded by every nation in the world has fucking the UN is basically the guard.
So here let me just read it to you so there's no confusion here.
All right.
Antarctica shall remain used for peaceful purposes only. There shall be prohibited, inter alia, any measure of military nature, such as the establishment of military bases and fortifications, the carrying out of military maneuvers, as well as the testing of any type of weapon. Those are explicitly prevented. So your claims about the military being there are the opposite of what it is.
Really? Because there's not bases on Antarctica?
The treaty,
hella bases.
Article 1,
Hella bases on Antarctica.
There's scientific bases, but not
No.
military bases.
Article 1, Section 2, the present treaty shall not prevent the use of military personnel or equipment for scientific research or for any other peaceful purpose.
Fine. There's at least 5 fucking American fucking army fucking stations down there, dude. So like, that's just America. Everybody else, it's all militarized.
Well, you're going to have to provide evidence of it all being militarized.
Well, look at there's 5 right there.
No, you said all. All. So if there's one, that isn't.
Every country.
No, you said every base, everything there is military. So now you need to substantiate that every single one.
Is every single one of what? Like what? That every base is military?
That's what you just claimed.
No, there's a bunch of military bases on there. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, so you're backing off to a bunch instead of all. Thank you.
There's a couple of abandoned ones.
No, I don't know. I don't know about what fucking other bases there would be there. That's besides the point. What I'm saying is you're reading a little snippet out of that treaty, which isn't even what I'm talking about. You're reading a fucking side note. What are
you talking about then? Which article and line are you talking about?
First of all, what you're talking about is that's bullshit. If that's really the case, they violated that because there is fucking military. It's all military down there.
Okay, you just again said it's all military. Please substantiate
Okay, yes,
all
there is a
military.
fucking shitload of military people down there.
Okay, you're going back. You keep going back and forth, claiming all, claiming not all, claiming all,
Okay, no,
claiming not all.
there's science. Get this known. There is scientists down there. I know that there's fucking scientists supposedly down there. Fucking what I'm saying is the fact that there is militarization. If that treaty says that there's not allowed to be, then they're violating it. Every fucking country
Okay,
that has a base there is violating it.
provide a
Just read it.
substance to your claim.
You just read it.
I just read that they shall not be used for military purposes. The carrying out of military maneuvers is specifically prohibited, right? It does not prevent the use of military personnel equipment for scientific research or for any other peaceful purpose. That's what the treaty says.
On screen right now, I have notable
military?
operations that have involved military activity in the Antarctic, right? And it says Commander James Cook's second voyage, that was back in 1773. And it says USS Vincennes surveys of Antarctica, that was 1839.
How long did it take him?
What?
How long did it take him to do it?
His entire journey from when he left England, sailed around the world, traveled all over the place to several other places, and came back took quite a while. And it was 60,000 miles about. But that was the entire journey.
Years. Yes,
the entire journey.
What he was doing was circling Antarctica. He was keeping Antarctica within view of his fucking boat the entire time. That's what he was
never
doing.
once got close enough to see Antarctica in that journey. Go look it up.
He did. Yeah,
he never went south of the 60th latitude south.
But
he never once saw it.
He was measured. That's what he was doing. Was seeing how far around Antarctica was.
Please substantiate your claim.
Well, that was a mission that they.
You're just repeating what some other flat earthers said. You didn't actually do the research. You didn't do your own research like every flat earther says you should do. You did not look it up. You're just copying what somebody else said.
I haven't looked it up in a while, but I have it. But look here, you want to talk about something verifiable and something that's not up to debate? Talk about fucking the laser tests going over, the frozen lake where the guy fucking chills on his snowmobile, and they put the laser a foot and a half above the snow or above the frozen lake, and then he drives his snowmobile like 7 miles or whatever. It should be like 6 miles is 32 feet of curvature should exist, but yeah, with refraction, I guess it should be 13 feet, but.
Trivially easy with refraction.
It's 1.5
at that temperature.
Above, it stays at 1.5 feet above it. Like he drives, and the laser is touching him the whole time. And when he gets to the end of the lake where it's a snowbank, you can still see the laser hitting him.
Mm-hmm. And how well collimated was that laser?
What do you mean how well collimated? You could see it fine.
No, you don't know what collimation is. Sorry.
It was still a foot and a half. It was exactly as high as it was standing. It didn't it should have been 32 or 36 feet above him if you want to think that about refraction.
And what was the collimation of that laser?
What is collimation? How are you using that term?
Collimation is about how wide the cone is of the laser as it expands out.
Nothing changed.
Okay, you don't understand what collimation is.
It's a bit bigger, but
no. Here's what happens.
Same size.
Lasers don't just shoot. What's that?
It should have been like after the first couple miles, that laser should have been above his head.
And so did they climb up on a ladder and see that the laser was maybe that high? They should have, because it was probably there.
The laser was a foot and a half off the ground, and it touched him the whole ride. The whole drive that he was there, you can see he filmed it. The laser did not move off of his back. It stayed exactly a foot and a half the entire 7 and whatever miles. Like it should have after the second mile, you should not have been able to. You should have noticed a big difference. According to Discovery Channel, that's what happens. You should notice a big difference. Every other laser test, though, every other laser test shows exactly that there's no curvature. But Discovery Channel, they say that they found curvature, but then they didn't even videotape themselves doing it to prove it, like every flat earther.
The both the collimation and the refraction in that cold lake example are perfectly explained by with the round Earth.
There's no refraction when it's cold like that anyway.
I'm sorry.
When it's so
there's
cold,
always refraction.
Yeah, but when
There's
you
there's
look through
there's
a hot day,
there's more
a hot day,
refraction.
a hot day has way more. That's what creates the refraction is the heat. It amplifies it. Like when you're looking through a cold day, it's the least amount, and that's if it's on ice, that's the very least amount of refraction that you could experience.
It's the gradation of temperature that causes a gradation in the index of refraction.
No, it's looking around.
I'm sorry. All right. You're going to need to provide your source that it. No. You're going to need to provide your source that a change in temperature at cold temperatures does not change the index of refraction, because everything we know about refraction is that it changes with coldness.
Look up the definition of refraction. Ask Google right now, because I can't stay in here and ask Google right now. But if you want to Google it, fucking see. Does refraction increase in hot and heat, or does it increase in cool days?
So atmospheric
the index refraction. Yeah, the index of refraction increases with colder temperatures.
What? Are you reading that, or are you saying that?
I'm saying that because it's a well-known
Read it.
Yeah,
so Google it.
So colder temperatures, like very close to the surface of the ice, is going to be colder, thus
you ever see cold
have a
waves?
higher index of refraction.
You see heat waves. That's what.
No, see, I think you're confusing. You're confusing the chaotic interaction when there's heat with that being the only thing that is refraction. That is refraction, but it's not all that refraction is.
Oh no, it's amplified in heat, is what I'm saying. I know that refraction's going to exist regardless.
Actually, heat reduces the index of refraction because it reduces the density of the air.
What you're not reading that. You're just saying that.
I'm saying that because I know how refraction works.
What? Can you Google, or can someone Google?
Essentially, what I'm seeing here is it's trying to explain. I get results explaining atmospheric refraction and scattering of light, but essentially,
if you ask the question, if it's on a hot day, does refraction increase or decrease?
The index of refraction decreases with heat. You could use the Selmer equation to calculate this, for example.
No, it doesn't. Look, heat waves, man. That's an increase in refraction.
That's a decrease in refraction in that wave.
Heat waves?
Absolutely.
So, let me explain what's going on. It's a difference in heat and coldness is what's causing is what causes them to have a different density, which causes refraction. So when it comes to over a cold lake, right, you'd get especially more refraction there, especially if it's frozen over, because the air just above the lake.
It's a hot day, but he did it at night. It's not like it's a hot day like
what?
It's like the sun beating.
Wait, what?
He did it at night. He did the laser test at night. It was the least amount of refraction that you could possibly get according to the Earth curve calculator or whatever.
Actually, no. You keep saying it, but you're speaking from ignorance here. Do you know what the Selmer equation is?
No, dude, I don't have to know what the equation is to know that that's how refraction works.
No. The Selmer equation is one equation that is calculate refraction based on several factors like temperature. Right? And so as you decrease temperature, the index of refraction goes up, not down.
It's because the difference between temperatures of like the water and the air that creates the refraction. That's why on a hot day, because the sun is so hot, on a cold lake, that's what creates the most refraction. When you have a cold night that has no heat being generated and it's just frozen temperature everywhere, like it's literally like it's above a frozen lake. There's no heat to create a refraction. And
heat does not create refraction.
I think
change
in relative to you. Refraction is not something that can be manipulated by the light staying on him the whole time. Like if you stand up and you're looking at your horizon is going to be different than if you lay down on your stomach. If you lay down on your stomach, the horizon is going to be way closer to you. But that's just your perspective. That's your perspective of it. That's just your perception. That has nothing to do with reality. Like, to say that refraction is something that you will experience as you go is laughable. It is something that you see only. It is not a physical effect of how light transgresses and goes through the. No, man, light goes straight.
Refraction
We know that.
refraction bends light.
I
That's
get
what
that.
it does.
But
When you go from one medium to another with a change in index of refraction,
so it bends your
it will
perception
bend.
of light. It does not
It
bend
does.
the light. It bends
It
your
absolutely bends
perception
the
of
light.
No, it bends your perception of the light. Your perspective, when you see the horizon and you're looking at it standing up, is different than when you lay down on your stomach and look at it. You still have a horizon. An ant has a horizon.
Have you never seen the cover of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon?
What about it?
I can bring that up if you want.
Yep.
It's
It's got a prism with
Yes.
light coming in one side and
Yep.
bending as it comes out the other side.
It's not curving. It's not curving.
It bends. It
Yes,
bends
if you
as
go
it
from one
hold
medium
on.
to another.
No.
You have to be changing
Listen
one
up,
medium
listen
to
up.
another. It's always
Yes.
from one medium to another.
Changing from one index of refraction to another, not just
No,
one
from
medium.
Only from one medium. Look up
I'm
the
sorry,
definition.
that is
Look
not
up
how
the
it works.
definition. Look up the
I
definition.
don't need to because I know how
that
this works.
definition. I just got
Changing
done looking
the
up that
index of
definition a while
refraction
ago.
is what does it.
Okay, if you're meaning by index of refraction, the medium in which the light is, like from going from water to air, then yes, you're gonna have a refraction.
No,
But it's only
even
one bend.
within
It's
even
not gonna
within the
curve.
same,
It's only gonna
absolutely
bend.
it curves.
It's going to bend one time. It won't curve. It will bend one time. You can see it. It's just what your perception of. That straw does not really bend in the water. It's just what your eyes see. It is not the reality of the situation, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm not claiming that, but
When you say
the light
refraction
bends.
is going to, refraction does not bend the light. Your eyes observe a bent light. It is not true. It is just your perception of the light.
Okay,
The
so
light
you're gonna
does not
need to
bend.
you're gonna need to disprove how
Put a
prisms
fork-
work then.
No, prism is one medium of air to a medium of a fucking
Oh,
crystal.
but you just
Isn't
said
that bending light?
Hold on. You just
What?
said refraction does not actually bend the light, it just changes our perception of it. But prisms show us a bending of light. They actually bend the light. It changes direction. Now glasses that
doesn't
people
bend.
wear,
It does not bend a fork. When you stick a fork into a fucking glass of water, the fork is not really, or a straw. The straw is not really bent. It is just what your eyes see of it. If what you're saying was true, then fucking I know what you're talking about, but that's with the crystal. That's a whole different medium than water. I don't know what the difference is right there. Like maybe that dense of a medium can manipulate the light. I don't know, but fucking we're not changing any medium whatsoever. 7 miles across, and we see much farther than that. With infrared, you can see 500 miles. But just what the dude driving over the frozen lake is all you really need to know. It is demonstrably flat. You can't say that refraction is what's causing the light to somehow stay on. No, it's only what you see from your perspective when you're standing at the beginning where the laser is. You can't. The light will not appear bent at any time if you're going along with it. It never bends because it's never entering a different medium. And you're expecting it to not just bend but curve, it's like you think the world is 2D or something. Like, the world is not 2D. It's a three-dimensional world.
so
That light goes
Planarwalk,
straight in.
I posted a picture
Yeah.
of light bending within one medium due to a changing index of refraction within that medium.
Yeah.
Can you bring that
What?
up?
I'm just going to.
Since Flat Out Hero is making claims and he cannot substantiate them, I will substantiate my claim. Here's
All
a
right, let's
picture
see it.
of light bending within the same medium
What's-
due to
what's-
a gradient in the index of refraction within that medium.
What does that mean?
There you go. So there is a curve in the light due to the changing index of refraction within that medium. You see it's curving,
wait.
and it's
Hold on.
not
I'm
changing
trying to
from
find-
water to not water.
How do I get back into YouTube? Can I
Yeah, you can go out of
Okay.
Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, Discord keeps you in the call. It's great.
Word. All right. Cool.
So
But you'll hear the stream too, so you'll want to bring the volume. I don't know how you can do that. You might hear double.
Yeah, I hear double, but
as long as you can just see what I've got on my screen, then you should be able.
well, I see just a globe.
What?
I just see.
Oh,
a
you're
globe.
looking at an old version of it. You probably have to pop forward in time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now look, when the light starts, it is not in that glass. It has to go through the glass. Then that's changing a medium. That's not the same medium. You just went through the
No,
glass.
the curve isn't happening at the glass. The curve is happening as it travels through the water.
Okay, but it is happening at the glass because that light is outside the glass. It's not inside the glass. It is
Yeah, but then
changing
it
the
gets
medium.
then it
You have
gets
to change
into the
medium.
water, and then once it's in the water,
It's
then
going
it
through
starts
glass.
curving in the water.
Okay, fine, but it
It's
has to go through the glass too first,
no.
and then there's not you're being very you're lying. That is not
What's
the same
causing
medium.
the curve?
If it
What's
was
causing the
still in
curve?
air, the water, it's a change of medium. It's from air to water.
But no. But within the
Yes,
water, you can
yes,
see it's
yes.
curving within the water. It's not
Because
changing
it
the medium.
changed the medium. Because it
It
changed the
changed
medium.
it changed the medium before the curve, not during the curve.
No, it changed. That's what makes the curve is changing the medium.
I'm sorry. You're looking at this exact picture here, and it's the
You
gradient
can't
of
make
the
that
density.
happen in air. If it were to stay in air, then
Okay.
you'd be right.
Then please substantiate that claim.
That's what I'm saying. Can you show
No.
me a light bending in air? If
I'm
like it has
showing
to
you.
air,
I'm showing
you're
you
not
light bending. Hold
bending
on. I'm
after.
showing
You're
it
right. You're
bending
showing me refraction, and I
in
told you.
in a changing index of refraction gradient. That's what
That's
you're
right.
looking
It's a
at.
change of medium. It's called a change of
No.
medium.
It's an
Yes.
index of refraction gradient is what you're seeing in that water.
You can't do that without the light starting outside of the water.
It doesn't matter if it starts outside the water. That's not where the bend is happening.
That's right. But when we're
The
observing
bend
with
is
the
happening.
laser, the reason this doesn't work is because we're not looking at the snowmobile driver through a
Okay.
fucking glass and through water. We're looking at.
I'm sorry that you don't understand this.
Air.
That's your problem, not
I
mine.
understand that. I'm saying
No,
that's not
I'm
the
sorry.
same as looking.
You don't understand how an index of refraction gradient works. I'm sorry.
Really? Because I'm talking about the snowmobile driver is not in an index of refraction gradient.
Of course he is. The atmosphere has an index of refraction gradient.
No, he's not past the atmosphere. He is inside the atmosphere with it. That's what I'm saying. Show me that light. Show me that
the
light
entire atmosphere. Hold on.
Air.
The entire atmosphere has a gradient from the top to bottom in the index of refraction. The entire atmosphere, and it is magnified. That index of refraction is magnified by large changes in temperature.
But yeah, okay, fine. That large change of temperature is non-existent on a frozen lake at night. But
you've never been on a frozen lake at night.
Yes,
clearly, you've never been on a frozen lake at night. Oh, you live in Arizona. I don't know if you've ever been, but seriously, oh, it is terribly cold at the surface. It kills your feet if you don't have good boots. You can have your hands in your head. You can have no coat on and be super comfortable. Your feet are dying. The temperature down low is much colder. Much colder.
If it might be a couple degrees colder, but no, that air is frozen. It's cold as shit, dude. Like the water will freeze within seconds in that environment. So you can't tell me that it's not. It's way above freezing. Like no, it's not.
From 6 feet up to the ground is a major difference in temperature.
1.5 foot, 1.5 feet. It stayed the same.
I'm just saying it.
Like it's flat. It's easy to fucking say it's flat. Having the same thing over the water.
Okay, so now can you explain how as things get farther away, the bottom gets obscured first?
Yes, because that is how your perception works. If you lay on your stomach, you will see a boat go out of your horizon much sooner than if you stand up, because you'll watch it go over another horizon when you stand up. It is just your perception that shows your horizon. Your horizon is not a real thing.
You're going to need to substantiate that because you
Well,
just described the curve.
Check it out. No, what I just
You
described.
just perfectly described the curve.
I made videos showing it. Like, if you put your camera down as like the ant's perspective, like if you're a little ant, A-N-T, if you were an ant and you had that perspective, your horizon is not going to be where we see the horizon at. It's being a 6 foot tall creature.
Because there's a curve in the way, and it changes as you get higher elevation.
You can do it on flat, level, just completely fucking, like, there's no curve at all to, like, the back patio that I used. It was about 25 feet or 20 feet or something. And I showed that I created the curve on the flattest patio in the world. That's only works on a flat plane. Horizon would be curved if it was on a ball. It is not a curve horizon. It is a horizon because it's horizontal. So it's just your perception anyway. When you're laying down on your stomach, your horizon is not what you see when you're standing up.
So are you talking about? So I'm guessing you're talking about left to right. Left to right. Am I correct? Left to right.
No, straight. Like, the farther you go, if you're a shorter creature or if your perspective is lower, then like if you're sitting at a beach, dude, you'll see a boat go over the horizon, laying on your stomach and looking at it straight ahead as low as you can go, and you'll see a boat go over the horizon bottom first, and then when you stand up, you'll be able to watch it again.
That is exactly predicted by the globe.
Yeah,
that runs absolutely counter to a flat Earth because there's nothing in the way to obscure it if it's flat.
No, of course there is. Your perception is what I'm saying. You put it on a flat, when you reduce it down to my patio is not curved. There is nothing in the way in between the 25 feet away. I'm holding a lighter and I'm dragging a lighter towards the camera. Like, there's nothing in the way. It's flat. I prove it's flat. I've shown from both sides, and during the middle, I went all the way down to the side. It is a flat patio. You can only recreate that on a flat area. You cannot recreate it on a curved area because the curve will show a curvature. It's just the only way it works, dude. Especially at 26,000.
What do you mean it will show a curvature? Please explain. What would a curvature look like?
It would look like a curve. Like you wouldn't be able to shine a laser 7 miles.
No. What would it look like? You said it looks like a curve. What does a curve look like?
Well, kind of like what your little light looks like right there on the screen.
Except that is, from the Earth, that represents a very far-off view from many miles away. Because
I get it, but no, because the Pythagorean theorem, which fucking NASA attests to, because they supposedly orbit Earth every 90 minutes in the ISS, right? Okay.
Well, I don't know why you jump from Pythagorean theorem to NASA.
I'm not jumping because they verified it. They said, oh yeah, he was right. It is only 26,000 miles around. So that means that we should be able to see
do you think that the Pythagorean theorem says that the Earth is 20? What do you think it says? What is the Pythagorean theorem?
The equator, like around the equator, it's like 20.
What is the Pythagorean theorem?
That's fucking gets the curvature of Earth. But it's a lot of different theorems. He has a lot of theorems. He has a fucking bunch of fucking stuff attributed to the Pythagorean theorem. But the one we're talking about right now is how you get the circumference of a sphere, or not the circumference of a sphere.
So you use the Pythagorean theorem to get the circumference of a sphere.
Well, or to get you can use it also to.
Okay, let's back up. All right. Here we go. 8th grade. Here we go. 8th grade math. Circumference of a sphere. Pi times the diameter. That's the circumference.
26,000 miles.
Okay, that's not the Pythagorean theorem.
No, I know.
What is the Pythagorean theorem?
That's the circumference.
What is the Pythagorean theorem?
There's a bunch of Pythagorean theorems.
There's one.
No, there's a shitload. Look up Pythagorean theorem. It's a whole bunch of them.
Let me give you a hint. It has to do with triangles.
Yeah, that's one of them. We're talking about spherical Pythagorean theorem.
No.
Yep.
Hey, I have a
Look
question.
up
If you have
spherical.
a hold on, if you have a triangle with sides 1, 1, and 1, what are the inside angles?
What, 33, 33, 33, something?
Hmm. Maybe not. Maybe not. Nothing.
Yeah, but what does it have to do
Oh,
with the fact
I
that you
mean,
can see
well,
the
it was
laser
just a
does not
question
go
because you're talking about
a foot
triangles.
and a half. It's a foot and a half
So,
above
all
the
right,
fucking.
hold on a second. We
You'll
need to
see it no matter how
we
far
still
you
need
go.
to establish what is the Pythagorean theorem.
No, that's not
Planarwalk,
what
do
we
you
need
want
to
to pull up?
establish. Like we need to
No,
establish why you can still see the laser at a foot and a half
you're
high. Like the laser should be going up at some point. It should be going above the dude's head at some point if there's some curvature, but there's not. And you can see from line of sight the same phenomenon happening. It's not that your eyes are seeing in a curve and it looks flat to you. It is the fact that you can actually see that far. There's a dude that laid his camera on the beach, the water almost lapping and almost touching his camera each wave that came, and he shows the freaking beach at 6.95 miles away. It's
Yep.
the
And I
same thing
ran the
happening.
math. I ran the math for that guy because he wasn't on the water.
Yes, he
So
was.
you can't use it.
He,
You
he
can't use
wasn't
an
on the
observer
water.
height. You can't use an observer height of 0. I ran the
No,
math for that, and it works out
no.
perfect.
Okay, well, you have to use at least less than 5 inches because it's only a couple of inches above the water.
So it worked out perfectly fine for the
Well,
Earth,
what did you
the
use? What did you
spherical
use
Earth.
for your height? What did you use for the height?
Well, we could pull up that video and look at it right now, but it doesn't matter
All
much.
right.
It worked out just
Well, of
fine.
course it matters.
And here's the
definitely
key.
matters.
Here's the key of that. You could not see the rocks in front of the house.
Yes, you could.
You could see the
all the
house,
rocks on there. You can see
but
all
you
the
could
rocks.
not see the rocks, and you could
You
not
could
see the beach. And
Oh,
then
yes,
later
you
in
could. You can
that
see the
very
waves,
same video.
lapping on. You can see the waves lapping up against the shore. That you can see the
Sorry.
whole damn thing.
So now, do you expect that maybe there would be a left to right curve?
Well, yeah, there should be a left to right curve, especially if you're trying to say that the curve starts eating a boat after 3 miles, because that's how far your horizon is at ocean level or sea level. If you're trying to say that it's already swallowing up a boat at 3 miles away from you, then yeah, when you're looking across left to right, you're looking at you can see 100 miles at certain points if you get high enough. Like there's your peripheral is a hell of a lot longer than 3 miles when you're looking far away,
So,
especially when you
all
go and
right.
get
So
into
if
zooming in. When you can zoom in on shit that's all the way fucking
here,
275
hold
miles
on a
away.
second. Yeah, you're rambling.
No,
Hold on a second.
not at all.
If I could show you definitive left to right curve, would you send the first $5,000 that you owe me?
No, I don't owe you anything. You bent the lines on you bent the angle of the entry. And I told you have to create a flat map. The 2 videos that I made
Oh.
before the official challenge video state the same damn challenge. I don't know
No,
why
I'm sorry. You never
You
once in the
asked me-
challenge said that it
You
had to be
asked
curved.
me if I can make an exception for you, and I told you, yeah, you can do that just because we're interested in seeing it, but that's not going to account for because that's not the challenge. The rules of the challenge were always like I don't even know why you're saying that you would have a qualified entry. We discussed this before you even made it that wasn't going to be an entry because you can't curve the paper. You have to create a flat map on the ground, and it has to be so accurate that you can make a flat map out of it so that it's not so distorted and
No,
it's so high
I'm
up
sorry.
that you have it
Never,
show a curve.
never in your challenge video. Never once in your
had
challenge
2
video did you
previous ones-
say, "I'm sorry,
2 previous-
that
2
wasn't in your
previous ones
challenge
that-
video."
Yes, it was.
It
Said,
never.
if you don't know what I'm talking about, in my challenge video, I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, refer to the 2 previous challenge videos that I made about this. If you didn't watch them, then you just assumed that you knew what I was talking about, but you didn't. That's.
All right. So tell you what, I'll show you a left-right curve.
Time.
I'll show you the left-right curve, and you send me the first 5,000 that you owe me. Hey, can you see the video stream?
Yeah, I can see it.
So do you see this straight edge here with the water between it?
What? Yeah, okay.
Okay, so one of the problems with and I know you have this problem too, is that there's lens distortion in cameras, so it's difficult to take pictures when you're trying to evenly measure a curve. So you need an external straight edge. So here we have these external straight edges. If you want to pan a little bit, there you go. These straight edges are known to be straight, and they will not.
Really?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do this yourself. If you have trouble, go get yourself a good 8 foot or 16 foot level. I don't know, something like that. That's a straight level.
You're saying that you can see the curve?
Yeah, just a second. I'm explaining what's going on here. Okay. So hold on. I'm explaining. Stop interrupting me. I'm explaining here. So we have these straight edges that we know are straight. Right?
All right.
Right? So any curvature in the lens would be obvious and apparent because it would show curvature in these straight edges. Right?
Yep.
So if we use this external reference to verify that they are not curved, then we can attempt to see if there's any curve in the horizon. So Planarwalk, you want to zoom in on the left side of that there?
So that's assuming you trust this video or this fucking author. Like, who built this? Is it a propaganda? Is it a mainstream type fucking scenario, or is it somebody that's actually out there trying to put boots on the ground and fucking make? Because I'll tell you what, if you think you can see the curve of Earth from only 100 feet, these guys are maybe 20 feet above water. But
this is a 609 foot.
You cannot see curvature no matter.
Hold on. This is 609 feet. You can download this image directly off of my website. That has the GPS coordinates and the elevation on it. It's an island.
You can see a curve.
So here we are. Can you get closer in there? So we can really kind of
70,000 feet. You can still not see a curve. 120,000 feet. You can still not see a curve. So how are you gonna really believe that you're able to trust this shit when you can go so million times?
So hold on.
There's still no curve.
Well, I've seen plenty of videos where you can see curve, but of course the problem is there's lenses that have distortion. Yeah. So this is eliminating
propaganda is what's created that.
So this is eliminating the confounding variable. This is eliminating the curve of the lens.
How is it eliminated? Okay, that might eliminate.
So we can count pixels from the bottom of that straight edge to the horizon, and from the top of that straight edge to the horizon there on the left side there, right? And if we got close enough, we can do it. And you can go ahead and download this this image yourself and examine it and scrutinize it yourself. And if you don't believe it,
I know that at 120 there is no curvature. Like it's ridiculous.
But you're making a claim here that I'm showing here that may not be true. All right. So now if you scroll a little bit to the right edge of that.
It's not computing or what? Like, dude, if you can't see it from
but we're seeing it from 609 feet right now.
Okay, well that doesn't make sense. Are you saying that it gets less and higher?
I'm saying that those images that you're talking about have
videos
that have they have lens distortion. No, so Planarwalk, could you just stay on that left side?
It might have a little curve, but when you look at it,
so
if
we're
it
not
was not a fisheye thing. If it was not a fisheye thing,
we're not talking
just curving the edges of the video. Like if it was really curved, then when the fucking camera pans left and right, it would drop down.
I think you're scared because you're changing the topic. Could you just stick to the topic here, please? This particular image is our topic, okay? From 609.
I just debunked it.
No, you didn't.
Literally, like, there's no way that you can say that curve gets less as you get higher.
That I'm not talking about other images. I'm talking about this image. So if you look at the bottom,
reality, I don't know that image.
This is reality. So then I challenge you. I challenge you to. There's video of this as well. I challenge you to go do this exact experiment yourself. Have the courage.
When I know that there is no curvature, no matter how high you go.
Well, but we're looking at it right now. So all right. So if you look at the gap between
manipulated video, who made it?
A guy named Rory.
Rory.
So he has a YouTube channel. You can look at his stuff. So, and you can download these exact images that are taken directly off of the camera that has the GPS coordinate in it. So you can scrutinize them all you want. So here you have the gap between the bottom of that straight edge and the horizon, and then scroll a little bit to the right there. Planarwalk's falling asleep.
I just did scroll to the right though.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
So
I'm
you have
looking
an
at the
ocean
delayed
swell.
stream.
You have one side that
There
the
we
wave
go.
is thicker. The waves are getting thicker as you go left to right. That's fucking obvious right there, dude. It's just an
What?
ocean swell.
Oh,
just the
wow!
ocean.
That is some
That's
straw
the
grasping
purple
there.
wave. That's a wave, dude.
That is a calm day. Look at that. That's calm sea.
Dude.
So you're gonna go with
No, yeah, I'll go with the reality of it.
personal
No matter how-
incredulity. Got it.
No matter how
So,
high you go without a fisheye lens, it's flat. So
now, could you please describe to me? Please describe to me what is a non-fisheye lens.
Well, I mean, the least fisheye lens that you can fucking make, because all lenses have some fisheye too. But the ones that show, like the ones that are lenses that we see, like what we see, instead of bending the sides of our vision, we see like just like how movies are filmed, how every other like documentary is filmed. It's not filmed in a fisheye lens. It's filmed with what I call a regular lens. You would call it regular.
You should. So the word that you're looking for is rectilinear. And
Okay,
even
fine.
rectilinear lenses have some distortion. There's barrel distortion, pincushion distortion,
but you know that it is
mustache
distortion. You know it's due to that when you show a table or some flat line that you know to be flat, and when you go from left to right and pan, it will show a curve at the edges and only at the edges. Because if it was really a curved object, it would drop off. But you wouldn't have to worry. You wouldn't have to debate yourself because it wouldn't look like that. That's not how it works. If you're really seeing a curve, it would continue to drop off.
Do you know how fisheye lenses work though? Do you know where you can?
They only do that to a flat line. They don't do that to a curved line.
Where on a fisheye lens will it curve?
Where on a fisheye lens will it curve? On the very edges.
On the very edges, right. So if something is in the center, like let's take this image, see, I'll zoom out on it, and
well, I'm not arguing that the center is fine. I'm not arguing on the sides of the image. All I'm saying is that no matter how high you go, you're not going to find anything like that. So what you're looking at has to be easily explained as some sort of swell, you know?
Well,
like that's the most logical information I can. So no matter how high you go, that's bullshit. Even if this was 1,000 feet.
Here's your disproof. I put that in the chat there, Planarwalk.
Where's the disproof?
It's coming. So let's see. At 83,000 feet from let's see.
Who's the source of this?
Would be a video from a flat earther. With an infrared camera.
And you realize that the one that you show would be about the same. The one that you show from 1,000 feet high is about the same as that. So
except that you don't understand. Except that you don't understand lenses because I
understand it's not a more exaggerated.
No. It's the zoom of the lens, right? So, and I know you don't understand that. So, here is a rectilinear lens on a balloon at 83,575 feet.
That's not a rectilinear lens. Go down to the bottom. Go to the beginning of that video. So let's see what it looks like when it's on the ground. Let's see what it looks like on the ground.
I can't. It's not
flat lines. Let's see what the flat lines that you know to be flat, like the sidewalk and stuff. Let's see if they get curved.
I can't actually rewind the video because
I have the video here. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got the video.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Do AB Science. Yeah. He has a.
I'll talk you through it. there are
This
a
is
few
the best
essential
analysis.
screens.
So
So if you load that up,
you can't
and
link
if we
it?
start at
I've got it at
1 minute
406.
18,
1 minute 18.
yeah, we'll start at that.
All right, and I'm just going to mute it so that. So I've got. Is that what you want to see?
The very beginning, like when they're on the ground. No, like the very beginning of the video.
No. Listen to what AB Science says. Good.
So you want to
I
talk
just wanna
about AB
see-
Science?
I just want to see if
Yeah,
it's really
stick
a
that on
fisheye
full
lens.
screen. Okay, yeah, that's not quite 118, but these images will do the job. If you just pause it there for a moment,
That's a fisheye lens. Look
just
how
go
it's
back a
going
little bit.
concave. The more above the.
Hey, just listen to what he says. He will answer all
Yeah, okay.
questions here.
But if you can stick this on full screen for a moment.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, so most people here would quite sensibly say clearly there is a curved surface. So what I did for this video, I took 60 random screenshots from the image, from the video, once it has reached a given altitude. What I then did is I developed some algorithms to analyze the curvature for this. The full details of that are shown in the video, but we do see that there is a consistent measurement of a positive curvature. And we see that for every single shot that is going on. Now, there's some variation in this, so I decided, well, even though this is a rectilinear lens, it is unlikely that it is perfectly rectilinear. So what I did, and for that reason, I decided to capture 60 screenshots. And if you go to 6 minutes 43, you'll see a graph. And what I did there is because on any lens aberration, when the horizon passes through the absolute center of the image, the lens aberration should not affect the perceived curvature on the video. So what I did is for every image, I measured the distance of the horizon from the center pixel in the video, and from here you see that if the distance from the center pixel reaches 0, we still have a very clear positive curvature. On the right-hand side, top right, you see the equations. This is y equals mx plus c. It was a straight line equation that I used. Simple linear regression, not a lot was necessary. Now you'll see that the curvature does actually decrease a little bit with the distance from the center, showing that there are some lens aberrations when we look at this video. However, when in the limit where that distance reaches 0, we still see a very significant amount of curvature where we should not see it if that curvature was due to lens aberrations. And you can see here that constant is 23.114 plus or minus 1.162 times 10 to the 3. So we see that the error on this is less than 5%. This is very small. So from this, we can conclude that this footage very clearly shows that there is curvature in the horizon, regardless of lens aberrations.
Let's see the picture of the first one that he used, and then let's see the last one he used. We'll be able to tell a massive difference.
It seems that all went over his head.
Yeah.
No, like there's no proof been offered. There's a bunch of
To be
statements.
honest, I'm not
I'm
interested
saying-
in actually convincing Flat Out Hero. It's just any on the fence sitters, right? This is a very strict.
I just
This
want to
is
see the picture of the first one and the last one, dude. How hard is that?
the first one and the last one of what?
Yes, the image that you compared, that you got all your calculations
Okay.
from.
I mean, I think it's
Right.
back at
Okay. These were
180.
randomly generated. They're not all included in the video, but I'll post them on Discord for your viewing pleasure. Let me just find them. You guys carry on.
Did
I'll
you
just pull
start
this
with
out
the
of
ones
my-
on the ground?
So here's what
well,
happened.
they were not necessary.
Yeah, it is. You need to see if it curves flat line flat on the ground. If it's really a whatever rectangular lens, you know what a rectangular lens shows you because it's exactly what we see. Bend, like you might get away with a little bend on the sides of, but it's not even perceptible because movie cameras and your own camera, like your phone camera, it's not going to curve at the sides. Like you can see that it takes crisp pictures. That's what you see.
Yeah.
That's what a regular lens does. If there's
But
any
the issue
curvature
is,
lines on the ground, then you know that's a problem.
So if I could show you something
but
that
your issue here is that this is a process which is not subject to the observer's subjectivity or anything. This
Absolutely.
is a
If you can
100%.
see a curve,
No, it's not.
flat line
And I would
from you,
advise you
then
to
when you
watch
look
the
through
full
the
video.
camera-
This is the definition of the scientific method that was applied to this
No, it wasn't.
analysis.
Bro. Okay,
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah,
even
it
start with the
absolutely
ground line.
was.
You didn't start with a base. Like if you look at a sidewalk on the ground through that lens and it has a curvature to it, then you have a problem.
Sorry, dude. No,
you're out of straws.
no.
You don't even get those lame paper straws to grasp that. They're all gone.
Sorry, dude. No.
When you can see a sidewalk that you know to be straight flat and it's curved through the lens, you know that you have a fisheye lens. I figured it out.
You know what?
Very nice.
Actually,
Very nice.
maybe just to satisfy your curiosity, I will do
It's not
that,
curiosity at all.
and I
Yeah, you should.
can guarantee you that with that particular standard of evidence that you've just provided, you will no longer be a flat earther.
Right. Okay.
No, he will still use his personal incredulity.
yeah, that's the problem.
Personal incredulity. I'm just bringing. You didn't.
The problem that you seem to have, Flat Out Hero, is that you take is that you don't understand something, so you dismiss it. And sometimes
No, I understand it. I'm telling you about it. Like,
No,
the reason that we're
you
talking about
didn't
it is I brought it up.
understand. No, you didn't understand what AB Science did there. So because
did
the
too, but
fact
you
that
didn't prove
the
anything.
fact the fact that
He
you're
said
demanding that he
it.
look at
No,
that you're
no,
looking
no,
at
no,
the
no, no.
beginning.
You say I didn't prove anything. This is absolute 100% undeniable proof.
Okay, go to the very beginning of the video, right when they're
And
about
that
to release
and
the video.
and the
Boom,
that you
right when they're about
demand the fact that you're demanding that he goes to the beginning of the video shows that you don't understand what it is that he did. He isolated out through his method
I know this video.
the non-rectilinear effects of the lens.
I've seen this video from start to finish. I know there is a curve on the ground. Is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't care about your master. I've seen it. I'm trying to get you to look at it. Fuck. This is not my first time watching fucking videos. I've seen this video a few times.
you do. Someone just posted in the chat this image which shows the difference between barrel distortion and
You won't go to it.
distortion.
You won't go to it. Like you've seen it too. You know what I'm talking about. Fuck. How hard is it to go to the very beginning of the video?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute myself now because this is too fucking funny.
I'm back out too.
So you do know what? So the one that I think we're looking at is. Oh, what kind of distortion do you think that there is? Barrel distortion or pincushion distortion?
If you see any distortion for the first 10 minutes, then it's a fisheye lens. Like there's a regular lens camera, one distortion.
All right, I have a spot at 10 seconds in here. I'll post in the chat there. That shows if you just pause it there at the 10 seconds.
Well, look, you gotta watch the video because it'll show. Like if it gets closest to the camera, it'll
Be
appear to be a
patient. Be
straight
patient.
line. So you can see
Be
one
patient, you'll
frame
see.
that might look straight, but when you watch the video, then you can understand. You have to watch the video. You can't just look at frame by frames. That's what I mean.
So
Frame by frame doesn't prove anything. Toon, you're smarter than that too, dude. I can't believe that you're actually seeing these things.
there we go. I paused it
that you
at 10
don't know what you're
seconds.
talking
All right, and then you can play it from there. You can see as it's on the ground.
Play from the
Make it
beginning.
bigger.
Just play from zero. How hard is it?
Oh, I played it from 0. It's
Yeah, this is where it goes to actually the camera, right? But back it up 10 seconds to, because I'm sure he'll be convinced then.
I
I've seen it. I'm trying to show you something.
So there you go, nice and flat.
Now pause it. You see all that curve? Pause it right there. Now it's you gotta wait till it's looking above. Yeah, when it go back a little bit though, because a few seconds back, it was a lot more exaggerated. As it'll go concave as it goes above the middle of the screen. Then it'll go convex as it goes below. It's not.
You're saying that, but it's not.
Really fluctuating. Yeah,
we're watching it, and it's not.
Really.
at best you may have a few mountains, because it's not
just that. It's a consistent. When it's above the middle, it's going to be concave, and when it's below, it's going to be convex, or vice versa. How it is. But again, it's always going to be the opposite. So it's very noticeable. Right there is a curved line. You're telling me that that's not a curved line?
We can check to see if it's a curved line.
Yeah, check.
Yeah, zoom it out, zoom it in, and then take a screenshot. No, flat out here, you were the one saying. Right. You were the one saying that we can't use freeze frames, and now you're the one requesting a freeze frame.
You have to use freeze frame, but to find it, you have to watch the video. I couldn't find one without watching the video. Is what I was trying to say. You have to know where it's getting more concave or more convex. You can't just see one thing and expect the whole videos like that.
Holy shit, that's huge. I just
are you trying to download it?
What?
Man, curvature?
No, I'm
it's a 2.5 hour video.
No, what I'm doing is I'm not talking about data size. I'm just talking about the size of GIMP on my new monitor.
Oh,
that's huge.
What size is that monitor?
It's a 1080 monitor.
27. But is it a 27 inch? Is it centimeters?
It's 24 inch.
Okay.
I'm just used to my.
So Flat Out Hero. Sorry guys. Flat Out Hero. What do you expect when a straight line, regardless of lens aberrations, whether it's barrel distortion or pin cushion distortion?
Well, we have lenses that don't have.
Hold on! Don't interrupt him.
Well, no. Firstly, don't interrupt. Secondly, every lens has distortion to some extent. No, absolutely. No. Seriously, absolutely not.
Really? Because Hollywood's got.
No. It does not. But that's a point that does not matter. Okay.
It is true, because that's how
any distortion, if there is a straight line passing through the dead center of the image, right? A straight line being recorded by the camera, and that straight line passes dead center through the image,
then it'll appear
is
straight.
The reproduced image, is there a curve on that?
No, it's the least amount of curve.
It's the least amount of curve. It's 0 to be exact.
No,
when a straight line passes dead center through the image, regardless of lens distortion, it is a straight line.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
But if those
and
lenses
you
show,
remember
so
the
when it's
plot
above
I
or
just
below,
showed you. Sorry?
when it's above or below the middle of the line, then you can tell that if it's a distortion lens, then it'll show curvature or convexity.
Yes, precisely. But you remember that plot I just showed you, that graph I just showed you not that long ago?
Yep.
That shows exactly the amount of curvature you would observe from the horizon if it were to pass straight through, dead center, through
Okay,
the,
you say that, but
the
what I'm
central
saying is
image.
the image that you see right there shows a curved horizon. So right then, you're trying to say that this is a regular lens camera, and it's not. That's bullshit. That is not what a regular lens shows. That is
Okay,
called
we can run
fisheye
it.
effect.
I can run this algorithm on that, and we'll see what happens.
Well, just use a ruler, dude. It's not that hard.
Well, that's the issue. Is that just using
Well,
a ruler and your eyes doesn't quite
no,
work. We have to do
no, use
science. We have
well,
to
use a straight line.
eliminate our own biases out of the
Use
method that we are implementing. We need to be aware of our own biases, and we need to actually
Yep.
apply the scientific method, which is primarily designed to remove these biases. If you are just applying a ruler to a screen, then and you are going, meh, looks straight to me, then
Well,
you are not eliminating your own biases. And
no,
that is the
you can make a straight
problem.
line.
Apply the
But a straight
scientific
line.
method to your analysis, and then we can truly have a meaningful conversation about this.
That's what I do. That's everything I do has a scientific method. Of science.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
So if I just zoom up on this a little bit. So I'm just going to erase this because hard edge. Oh, that's on here as well. There we go.
It's about say like 2 or 3 pixels above.
So
Yeah, you can do that one too. Yeah.
So where would you? First off, where would you say we need to have the pixel?
Well, you go across from there.
Or where would you say the first pixel over here needs to be? Would you?
Well, I mean, I would say that the darkest part of it would be the maybe like 2 or 3 down, but I don't know, maybe where you were at.
So like right here or
Because
something?
it's we're already running into a curve, so it's just tough.
So right here, here.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, like the top of the darkest part, yeah.
So we'll go. Let's go from here.
Well, that's a pretty thick line. Yeah, you're just one of those. Yeah, right there.
Okay. Let me just try to. And we're over here.
Yep.
We're over here.
Yep. Well, see, we know that. So yeah. Well, it's down lower, I think.
Down.
There's no dark. There's
Down
no
low.
dark part to it. Or that's right. That's all right, I guess.
Oh, where I had it before.
No, sorry, not that. I don't think. Unless that's just darker clouds behind it. Oh, that might be dark clouds. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, right there, like 2 or 3 down
Let's
from
do.
that. Cause you see how that space is?
Let's do.
Let's say two down.
Let's do a few. We'll do one there, and I'll create another layer, and let's.
See, that's not a straight line.
And on this layer, we'll have.
Can you rotate it? Can you rotate it straight?
So
I think the line's always gonna bend like that if you do.
So first line we've got that, and second line we've got that, right? So the first line is pretty. First line seems to match up, but there is this sort of part here that seems to have.
No, it's the first line anyway.
Hmm?
go to the first line and look in the middle.
Yeah, what's wrong with the middle in the first line?
Like, well, look at the middle. It touches it, and then on the sides of it, it's like going down. Because when you zoom out, you can see that we were pretty off on that.
Well, in the middle, it's, I think,
Unless there's just like cloudy certain parts exactly what the curve would be, you know. But it does this consistently throughout the entire video. Same amount, it's the same thing.
well, if I
Like, yeah, it might
take
be far, and it makes it seem like there's a little increase to it. The amount that it should be increasing is ridiculous. Like, it should be very visually. If a boat can be swallowed after 3 miles away from by the horizon, there should be a lot more curvature. You know, after 6 miles, it's already
That
32
doesn't sound
feet.
like a very good quantification of the challenge here. Just saying it should be isn't it. You need to quantify these.
I am quantifying it as.
No, quantify would be a number. Like, do the math. Tell us at what height, using what lens, how much curve there should be in pixels. Something like that. That's quantified.
Shouldn't be any curve. There shouldn't be. Because we know that when we look at it through our eyes, there's no. If there's a visible curve, have a fisheye. If there's no visible, yeah, there might be a fucking little variable that has always got a curve fisheye, but it's not perceptible on all normal lenses. Normal lenses, we don't have that curvature problem.
Well, actually, there is one.
There's the issue. Is the footage I've shown you. It eliminates the possibility of a fisheye or pincushion distortion. However, I will do an analysis of the section where the balloon rises, and we will see how the curvature changes. I am perfectly happy to do that. My hypothesis is that it's not going to work in your favor.
Hey, Planarwalk, can you make a program?
I'm going to try it.
All right, hey, Planarwalk, can you make a program that shows the perspective of a balloon rising above a 26,000 circumference mile ball and a flat horizon, a flat, just a big flat like plate, like, you know, flat area, as opposed, like, see what the perspective like, how far high, in order to see on a 26,000 mile circumference ball, what point would it become visible? Because I've seen that diagram, I've seen that already done and compared.
Yeah, that's the Walter Bislin stuff.
Yeah, so let me just go delete something here for a second, and let me just. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go. Okay, I'm just going to make this thing here. Just going to bring that up. And I'm just going to go over to my debate window here and change. Properties. I really need to work out a better way to do this. Alright. There we go. So now that I've got it set to Blender, we can add let's add a UV sphere. Alright, I need to add quite a few more segments. I'll go with 100, and then 100 rings. That looks.
Who's opening another beer?
We can probably go 200 rings actually. And let's go 200 segments. I need to make sure that this doesn't get too laggy. Alright, hopefully this doesn't lag my computer out. And we're good. Alright, let me go tab so I can bring that down by 1, -1, and then we'll go tab, and then we'll then I'm going to set the scale up to. Does anyone know the radius of the Earth off by heart?
God damn it!
6.37, 6.34 kilometers, something like that.
You've been knocking on the door?
That is in thousands, by the way, sorry.
No.
Okay.
Yes, I'm fucking talking.
Get off of it.
Radius of Earth. Yeah, we'll go 6. We'll use a 6.3. 6.3. Wait, 6.3.
Hey, Flat-Out Hero, are you in trouble there?
I'll be alright.
Might help if I go a bit bigger, and I'm just going to smooth it. There we go. We'll go 63.7. So I don't like going too big because otherwise I get issues with Blender.
Will it be the 26,000 mile circumference still?
Yeah.
Okay.
63.
I mean, you could still scale it down by a factor of 1,000. You still get the same results, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let's set the location of this. Let's set it to. So let's set the Z to be 0, and we'll just. Let's set the set it to be 0, 0, and then we'll set this to be 0, set this to be 0, and then we'll rotate it by 90. Alright. 90 degrees. There we go. So, now going to. Alright, that's.
Make a hot air balloon.
Now, if we go set the location and we set it to, so if I were to set it to 1, that would be. I also need to make
3 miles from you. From 3 the horizon should be at 3 miles from you if you're 6 feet tall, right there.
I'm just trying to figure out. So if I go 0.01, that should be 1 kilometer high. I think maybe 0. Yeah, I think that's about 1 kilometer high. So let's go to about 10 kilometers high, which would be 0.1. And I'll just make sure that that's the right amount. 63. Oh,
it's not quite. It's 0.01 is 1 kilometer. 10 kilometers.
Oh, so wait, you can't.
0.01.
How do you verify that? That's what I'm saying. That program you have to enter, but how big a kilometer is? That's what I was saying. Like to see an actual recreation with accurate, kilometer or mile or whatever. Like when you do it that way, you're gonna keep on growing it until it fits until it fits. Like you can't just guess at it,
Huh?
This is modeling. This is guessing.
Person's gonna be 1.0 instead of 0.01.
Okay, as long as your units are internally consistent, it is fine. And actually, him making a mistake of 0.01 being a kilometer on this scale actually works in your favor. But anyway, yeah. So if your radius is 6.37, then 1 kilometer would be 0.001.
Would it?
Well, because you
My radius is
Yeah,
63
because the
points.
radius is 6,370
okay,
something.
yeah.
Wait, wouldn't
Right, so divided by 1,000, so 6.37.
hold on,
Unless
60. So my I just want to say my scale is 63.7 is the radius.
63. Yeah, okay, then 0.01. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So this is it. So currently my
Sorry,
camera
it's
is.
a Friday night. I'm drunk.
Fair enough. So yeah, so this is this is at 10 kilometers height. So I'm just going to convert 100. I think it's 120 feet to kilometers. What the? Okay, that's really weird. I think 120,000 feet. Did the stream cut out or something? Or okay, so for some reason, Discord just shit itself. Let me try and reopen my. I've got two Discords here. Let me try and reopen one of them so that they can hear what I've got to say. But whilst I'm doing this, I'll just make sure that I know the. Okay.
There, he's.
Here we go. My computer's going really.
Did you get kicked out of your own Discord chat?
I didn't get kicked out. Discord just decided to shit itself on me. Okay, so 120,000 feet is 36 kilometers.
All right.
And so I'll just enter that in here. So it's 0.36. Okay. Here we go. I've got. So is everyone seeing this on stream?
I think you're frozen. No. Yeah, I see, but it's been the same amount ever since we started.
I've just updated it to 36 kilometers height, which is 120,000 feet.
Okay, but this is what it was just showing a second. 10.
What?
When you said that you're 10 kilometers high, this is the same picture.
It did change.
Did it? I didn't see it.
I
can't notice.
I can change it to 1, and you can see that it visibly gets lower. And I change it to 36, it gets higher, and there's a bit more curve there.
I don't see it at all. Is it really moving?
Yeah. Maybe you're not caught up.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is how much curve you expect to see at 36 kilometers height.
So if you drag a line from left to right, that's not a straight line?
Of course it won't. Of course it won't be a straight line. We've actually got a good. I don't know if you can see it well on the stream here, but I can see a good line that goes from left to right, and it's a straight line, and there's curve above that.
Are you on your phone, Flat Out Hero?
Yeah.
All right, so it's gonna be hard to see.
Yeah, it's small. But like that's what I was saying. Like, so can you draw a line in that from left to right or no?
Yeah, it's not too hard to draw a line on that. I can.
What's above it? How come there's like that clear area above it, above the blue?
Above the what?
It looks like there's like an atmosphere included.
No, there's no atmosphere.
Those are lines.
Yeah, there's lines on it. It has
guidelines.
Yeah, guidelines.
The program's adding in.
Yeah. Let me just bring this over to GIMP, and I'll just close this image, and then
So that's the recreation I saw, but I can't find the video again. But it showed a lot. Like it was really noticeable, and it didn't even go to 120,000 feet. So
I'll just bring up the size of the pencil here. And I'll just switch over the stream stuff. So if I go to here and I go, properties, and I just go to where's GIMP? Oh, there we go. And I go okay. Then you should be able to see that I've put a black line on there to show you that there definitely is curve. One of the things to note though is that the atmosphere does add a bit of does make it look less notable sometimes when things do have a bit of an atmosphere. But one thing I did want to address is you said earlier. I'm just going to see if I can find the video. Because you said earlier about if you could get a picture of curve from a phone, right?
that you wouldn't have a straight line appear with your picture.
Well, you said if I can get if I can get an image of curve from a phone, would you believe that?
Well, I mean, sure. Let's see it.
Okay. Let me try and find it. Shouldn't be too difficult for me to find it. Very easy to
I
find.
mean, it's definitely not as good a picture as my phone. My phone is a regular lens, and it doesn't have any curvature to it. I'm looking right now. It's just at the screen I'm looking at right now. It looks exactly how I would see it in real life. Like, and there's no curvature to any of the
So
lines. We can tell
when you actually analyze in detail the aspects of a lens, there is always a little bit of curve.
Yes, I know that, but I'm saying perceptible, something that you can, because this is visible. You could see this is something that is in every camera that nobody ever sees because you're not looking that close. We're talking about visible, perceptible curve. Like it's not the same thing.
Okay.
Just because every camera has a little bit of curve to it, there's plenty of lenses that are regular lenses that don't show any curve visibly. Just like what we're looking at right now on the screen. There's no curve on the sides of it.
I'm just going to...
Actually, there's curve there that we're looking at right now.
Really? You can draw a line from left to right, and you're going to show a curve to it?
Yeah, there's a bulge above the thick line there. You don't see it because you're on a phone.
I'm not talking about the picture. I'm talking about the screen too, including left to right, like the entire screen. Like, or if you were to turn the camera around and show a desk or something that you know is flat and straight, it's not going to have a curvature visible. Like, you're going to have to really zoom in and look and like dissect, find a curvature to it. That's the type of lens that if when you send one of those up, there is no curve.
So this is taken from an iPhone. What I've got on screen now.
I don't see anything. It's still the other.
It may take a
shot.
You may have to wait for it to catch up. But what I've got on screen here was taken from an iPhone, so yeah, there's it doesn't have a fisheye lens because iPhones don't have a fisheye lens.
I'm sure there's an app for that.
There probably is, but it's in the center of the screen as well. So,
It's in the what?
The curve is in the center of the screen, center frame.
Oh, it's a like high altitude camera, iPhone camera.
It's actually taken from a plane.
Oh, yeah, it's only 35,000 feet.
Yeah, but look, I've showed you the footage. I've showed you the analysis, and I've
No,
showed
you
you
showed me
what
footage
happened
of a video that
when
curved from the bait from when
the
you let it go. Like, there was always a curve there. That camera always showed a
no.
curve. It's not a
I've
new thing
showed
that
you
also.
unequivocally that there is curvature
Still never got to
regardless
see
of
the beginning of the video.
aberration.
Still never got to see him
Right?
release it.
I will run you the analysis from right to the beginning of the video, but please,
Yeah.
people, can we move on to something else?
I'm done.
But are you seeing what I've got on screen right here?
I don't see anything. It's still the elevator.
Maybe you have to fast forward because I've had this on my screen for ages now. It's probably quite a while behind if you can't.
Oh, okay. That is, okay.
Okay. So, can you see the curve in that image?
No.
You don't. Okay. I'm gonna have to.
Maybe. Well, it's kind of too hazy to tell because like you're not looking at the land when you're looking at a blue thing across. That's not the Earth. You're looking at like you might be looking at clouds. You might be looking at water. I don't know what that is. That's not
Well,
the land.
Okay, there's
You know,
one
if it was
very
land or
clearly defined curved line in that
I'm
video.
sure there is a
Watching this
curved
on the
line,
video,
but is it the land?
it's not the lens.
Land. Is it the Earth? That's what I'm saying. It's not.
Yeah, we can clearly see a curve of the Earth in this picture.
It doesn't actually matter what word you said.
From an airplane.
No.
Really?
it's because
Like Neil deGrasse Tyson even fucking said like not see.
Oh, cool! Is
fucking
Planarwalk,
flat.
is Neil deGrasse Tyson joining us today?
unfortunately Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't. So
Oh, maybe you should take that up with him because he's not here to defend that claim.
Well, everybody knows that. It's not a fucking. If everybody's been in a plane knows
I
that.
don't know that.
Well, then you're misremembering.
Everyone
Back
knows
up there, you know, there's no curvature visible from 35.
Oh yeah, if we're gonna go with everyone knows, then everyone knows the
knows.
fear.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone
everybody
knows
that
that
goes
particular Neil
That is-
deGrasse
looking for it, you're
Tyson
not gonna find
quote that you take out of context. Absolutely. But,
Really? I'm
you
taking it
don't
out of context.
actually really understand the
I'm taking that quote out of
qualifications
context.
behind it.
So when he literally says that when you're holding a beach ball, he says when you're the size of an ant and you're fucking flying around in a plane above this beach ball, do you see any curvature? No, you don't see any curvature. Why? Because it's fucking flat. That stuff is flat. That's what he says. So how am I taking that out of context? Please show me the real context I'm supposed to be taking it in.
So one of the issues.
Watch the entire thing.
The entire thing that he was talking about, perspective of somebody above the earth in a plane, is I just rehearsed for you. So how did I take that out of context? How is there another way to look?
So
if you're in a plane, you can't see a curve.
So one of the issues that that we have with seeing curvature from the plane is clouds, because clouds stop you from seeing the ground. But in this image, when you look out, you actually don't see any clouds. There are a few clouds closer to the plane, but
you can't tell. You can't tell what that is like that. What it looks like the horizon, because of how you are looking over the top of clouds. Like most likely looking at the visual effect of the water and haze and clouds in the air, and whatever. Like it's not. It's most likely the curve is from the lens anyway, but like you're not even looking at the land, so you can't even be sure.
But hold on. Wait. We've already established a whole bunch of this stuff. We're going to review right now. This is taken on an iPhone camera that doesn't have lots of distortion. The curve goes through the center frame, so we've eliminated the majority of any distortion that might be there.
It's not the center frame. It's a little.
Now you're looking on a phone. I'm sorry, you're not seeing what we're seeing. And then we don't need to talk about Neil deGrasse Tyson because he's not here.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the perspective.
So
of
now
someone-
you're like, oh, now once you're like, show me picture of curve, and then we show you a picture of curve, and you're like, oh, but
I
we
didn't
don't
say
know
show
what
me
that
picture
is.
of curve.
Blah
You said
blah.
you had a
We don't know
picture.
what that
You
is.
said you had a picture.
So,
You said you had a picture. I didn't ask
Okay,
for it. I
and
just said,
also,
fucking sure, I'll
I
look
would
at
just
what you
like to
got, because I will.
I would just like to point out you're talking about haze and all of those things about
Well,
we don't know about those things. Well, actually,
No?
they are very clearly
That's what creates
and
refraction.
quite easily measured from this picture. And what we will see is something that is called a delta function. And that will very clearly show you, if you incorporate this delta function into your analysis, then you'll very quickly see that there is a very clear and distinct horizon. And I'm mentioning delta function just to remove any subjectivity out of it, because we can program algorithms to analyze this image to very clearly tell you that there is curvature in that image.
Really?
Now, I don't need to program that because I can
Infrared cameras
fucking
show
see
that there's no you can go 500 miles.
it. The issue is that the flat earthers who have analyzed that infrared camera footage
Uh-huh.
haven't really developed any decent objective methods for analyzing that. You see,
Yeah, they're at a
the issue
certain.
is it requires a lot of mathematics and a very solid understanding of
It's just
physics. But
GPS.
once you understand mathematics and physics at that level, it is impossible to believe in a
GPS, dude.
flat Earth.
You're talking about GPS is fucking. You can't see no matter what. If it's a curve, you
Oh
can't
my
see.
At what
gosh,
point did I mention
Can't see anything
GPS?
500
you're
miles away.
changing the topic.
No, I didn't. I said if you
No,
use
no, no.
GPS,
I
you don't need to
did
know
not
all
mention
that.
GPS. I'm talking
I
about
did.
simple
I-
first order differential
That's
equations.
simple.
These
those
are
aren't simple.
not difficult
GPS
to
is
anyone
simple.
who has done.
GPS.
I'm not
will tell you
talking
all you
about
need to know.
GPS. It has
Stop
nothing
talking
to do
about
with it.
GPS.
It tells you how far away the fucking objects are.
Flat Out Hero, let me ask you a
Right.
very simple question.
Yes.
What would it take to convince you that the Earth is a globe?
At this point, there's nothing you could do. There's nothing in the world that you could do. I will have a fucking response for everything because fucking, and I can demonstrate everything. You can't demonstrate what you're trying to lay claim to as far as like lasers bending without changing through mediums and stuff. Like I know you guys want to skip over each point and stuff, but my stuff is what I'm saying is facts, bro. You can verify them yourself. Like the moonlight creates a light. Like it's not reflected sunlight because it doesn't create any heat. If it were to create heat, sure,
But
then it could be reflected
Flat Out-
sunlight because that's what
Okay.
reflected sunlight
Let
is.
me just respond to
Reflected
that
sunlight
because
definitely
you
doesn't
you
pull
just
anything off, you know?
Oh God!
you just
I'll bring
Hey,
facts
stop
to the
talking.
table.
Flat Out Hero, stop talking.
you just illustrated my point by saying there's nothing that we can show you. You know,
Yes. Like literally, like I know, like I mean, you're the one that needs convincing now because what else can I show you? Like you've seen, like if you look at the line of sight, the 6.95 test where you put it on the beach, you just look at that right now, put it on screen. You can see the entire rocks. He even goes and he stands at the end of the video. He stands at the rocks, so you can see what they look like, exactly how tall they are. You can see the entirety of them. Like you can see the beach.
I can also show you a video of.
Just like
I can also.
just like the laser is hitting the guy on the snowmobile. Now, if you want to say that there's curvature, then you're saying that somehow boats get swallowed up after 3 miles, but 7 miles in, you can still see the entirety of a boat if it were to be that opposite beach. Like if you zoom in, you can see boats from way farther than 3 miles.
But
It's not even it's easy, and it should be gone.
But I can show you a video from Ranty Flat Earth, showing you a boat going over the horizon.
I created a horizon where I made a act like a horizon in your yard. I know you can only create that on a flat plane. Now, if
Wait,
it
what?
was true that it was a curve, you can only create that on a flat plane. If it was a
That
curved
is
surface, it
the
would
most
not.
ridiculous
That is
claim
not how
I've
it
ever
would
heard.
work.
Thank you for saying
Okay?
that.
That's
That
not
is
how it would
awesome.
work on. You think it's how it would work on a surface, but the curves of your vision, of your peripheral, would bend down way more noticeably than a boat be disappearing behind just 3 miles in front of you. Like, no, you can see a hell of a lot of periphery, especially the further away from it you get. It can just keeps on getting more and more extreme. So, like, that's how perspective works on a boat. It's not how it works in reality. I can recreate it on a flat plane in reality because that's what happens. That my lighter is not hidden. The bottom of my shoes is not disappeared in my videos. It is literally a flat piece of concrete that appears to swallow up the lighter and my shoes, the bottom of my shoes, until I fucking walk it forward and it sails over the curve, and it comes into view. It's just how your perspective works.
Okay,
Like
so
right now,
so
when he's having to zoom in on this to find when he's having to zoom in, he's not being like straight up with you. When you have the camera completely zoomed out, watch that boat go over the horizon without zooming in at all. It will go bottom first and disappear. Then,
the
after it gets so far, you can zoom in again on it, and it will come back into view fully.
And okay, so let me ask you a question. If I were to have these half zoomed in on something, and then it were to disappear over the horizon,
No,
and then I were to zoom
no,
in more, would it?
you're missing the point. Without any optics is how the observation was first made. Boats over the horizon was made by a fucking Greek fucking somebody. I forget who it was exactly his name, but he fucking observed it without. This was before any optics were ever invented. It watched with his bare eyes. You can watch with your bare eyes as a boat goes over the horizon at your beach. It just that's how your vision works. Now when you zoom in on it, that destroys the globe. That's the whole point. If you can see it go over the horizon, but you zoom in on it again and it's back, there's a problem. Why don't you see the problem with that? Like
Well,
NASA confirms that you should be able to disappear
okay.
after 3 miles.
So the issue that you're not seeing here is that the reason why we need to zoom in on things is usually not because they have actually gone over the horizon. It's because they're too small for our eye to resolve, right? So we zoom in on them to see what we couldn't see before. Once this boat here goes over the horizon, there's no amount of zoom will bring
It's
it back.
already past the horizon. It's already past the horizon. If you zoom out, that boat is not within view of the zoomed out camera. It already went bottom first over the first horizon. Now it's zoomed in. I get that it's going over that perspective horizon, but
You'll love this. AB Science, you'll love this. There's 2 horizons.
No, your horizon is your horizon. It's
So-
not a real thing. It's just what you perceive. It's not a real thing. You can lay down on your stomach and it will be right up close.
So-
it's not a real horizon.
Flat Out Hero.
Yes.
What I can see on screen is I can actually see the boat.
Right now?
Yeah, it's small.
Okay,
can
in
see
the
the boat.
corner, in the left corner.
No, right
Right in the center.
right in the center.
Okay, circle it.
It's right here.
I can't see.
Circling it with my mouse. It's very small.
Oh, okay. I see a little right there. Yeah, that one's too close to. It's not far enough away. There's plenty of video where it's way out of focus. Like there's nothing. It's complete flat line, and then it pulls it back into view. Which right then it looks like it's just the barely tip of it. Would you say that's poking up above the horizon, right?
Well, there is a few things that we've got to take into account. So, there is the issue of how much can we resolve, because if we let this play, he zooms in on it, and you can see that the entire thing that we can see right now as he zooms up on it was visible before.
Yeah.
Nothing
Well,
new
no,
is
not the entire thing. All I see is white.
nothing.
I don't,
Oh,
I
there
don't see
was
the blue below.
there was still some blue.
I don't see it right now.
So here's the key
Now,
thing.
yeah, now
that
it comes into view.
Hold on. Zoom does not bring something back from the horizon, and this video shows that pretty clearly, because when it's at partial zoom,
It's not
the same amount of the ship is obscured as when you're at full zoom. That's the key part to show that the zoom isn't somehow bringing it back from beyond the curve.
No, it looks like it's almost over the. Be sitting there without the camera zoomed in at all. Watch it through the lens as it out of view. It would appear to go bottom first, just like the Greeks observed it. That's what it appears. No matter what you want to say, like when the camera is not zoomed in, it goes bottom first over the first horizon. Now, if you can zoom in on it like you just did and see again that it is like it,
he hasn't zoomed out all the way here, and
no,
it
I
is
know,
not.
That boat isn't far.
It is
the tank. He's not far enough.
Partially.
There's
no, it's
plenty
past
of
the
videos
horizon.
No, it's not.
No. It's past the horizon.
It's not out of view. It's not out of view.
It doesn't have to be out of view. The point is that it goes
does.
bottom first over the horizon.
There's plenty of,
I don't care. It doesn't have to be all the way out of horizon.
Tune. You can't zoom in and make the same thing happen. It doesn't happen from zooming in. You have to be that distance away from it. You have to watch it physically go over. You can't make the same thing happen by zooming in and out.
I'm sorry. There is exactly zero. Hold on. There's exactly 0 cases of watching it go all the way over and be completely past the horizon, zoomed out, and then you zoom in and you see it. There are exactly 0 examples.
Type in boats over the horizon. You'll get it. Literally, I've got plenty on my channel. You can check it out. I got a bunch of them on my playlist. There's plenty to choose from on that boats over the horizon. There's all kinds.
But here's the problem: that horizon is obscuring the boat.
That's not
no matter
horizon.
What. Bottom first.
Without using optics, your horizon is different.
There is something in the way. What's in the way?
So, do you see this on my screen?
It's just your perspective. It's not the real horizon. There's nothing real about that. That horizon is going to change.
You're going to need to support that claim.
Okay,
you're going to need to support that claim.
Lay down on your stomach.
No.
Don't go out of view.
What?
Yeah, and then you stand up, and this is perfectly predicted by a sphere.
No, not at all. You can't have that. You can't have that happen on. If it's a sphere that will swallow up something after 3 miles, you can see much farther from your peripherals. If you could see something get swallowed visibly by 3 miles, you're definitely going to see like 100 miles across in your vision. You're going to see a curve. There's none.
Okay.
Okay. Please quantify that.
Yeah.
Quantify that. You can see.
No. Show me the calculations that you did, and the exact degrees of angle. No. I said quantify. I said quantify. Okay. I didn't say common sensify it.
Fine.
I said quantify. You're making a claim, and I want to see the math that you did to support your claim.
A 5-foot boat or 5-foot tall boat should be able to should be
not should.
After 3
math.
miles.
What's the calculations you did? You don't even know what the Pythagorean theorem is.
Yeah.
Please state for me the Pythagorean theorem.
All right, for fucking spheres, it's fucking the mile times fucking distance, or distance times mile square. What the fuck? No, I'm fucking faded. It's the distance and the height. No, yeah.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the mind of a flat earther.
I just got faded right now. I fucking forgot.
Please
Seriously,
state for me
we learned
the
this
Pythagorean
shit when
theorem.
we are 12 years old.
I can recite it right now off by memory if you want.
Me too. Wait, how about everybody in chat type in the formula for the Pythagorean theorem?
What the fuck?
I'm just gotta wait for. Yeah, MCToon.
Yeah, there was a bit of a delay.
I'll also.
Shadow Falcon got it. Ugly German Truce got it.
Yeah.
Toke Iva got it. Nathan Grat got it. All right, Flat Out Hero. What is the Pythagorean theorem?
Fucking something. I can't.
Okay. Zanju got it. Flat Earth Rambling got it. Fernanda Tater got it. Eric Anderson got it. Luke Filewalker. The Kitsune Cavalier. Dora Niku. Standini got it. All right. Chrismer got it. Flat Out Hero, what is it?
Fuck, fine now.
All right, thank you.
It's
So you can stop quoting the Pythagorean theorem. You can stop talking about math until you learn about it.
Once I remember, it's faded right now. I can't remember it. I'm having a brain fart.
Once you remember it, it's almost irrelevant. Now, I am not an advocate of remembering every single theorem that is out there, but the problem is that Pythagoras' theorem, it is almost impossible to not remember it. If you are actually trying to do any significant scientific inquiry whatsoever, the issue is that flat earthers consistently talk about repeatable, quantifiable proof, but they will never allow any mathematics or anything that will allow that proof to be quantified at any stage.
the issue that, and I think we really found out the issue earlier. You're so convinced that the Earth is flat that you don't allow the
You can't show me curvature laser test. Like, you can't. You can show me Discovery Channel claiming that there's curvature, but you can't show me the actual curvature. And I can show you the
We
actual
have shown you several times
we had
this.
multiple times.
Not with a laser. Not laser. Not a laser test going over what we know to be flat, like water or frozen lake.
but you,
Again,
Like,
you're dismissing the effects of refraction because you don't understand it.
what? No, I understand that. That's fucking. What are you talking about? I'm not dismissing.
Well, let's explore.
Sure.
A index of refraction gradient within the same medium will cause a curve in the laser. Yes or no?
Refraction has nothing to do with the actual curve of the Earth.
And
Like,
that
the
proves
actual
my point.
curve-
Thank you very much.
The actual curve should exist. It doesn't.
there's
It
people
doesn't matter
that,
what you want to say. The light is becoming refracted to be somehow changing mediums. You're just claiming that it doesn't have to change a medium this time, and there's no other experiment that you can cite where light curves without changing mediums. That's why you had to cite.
And I had that picture on the
No, I
screen
just showed you.
of
That's
light
exactly what
curving
I'm talking
within a
about.
medium.
No, it is not. It's going from the air outside through the glass and then into another medium. It's actually changing two mediums, through the glass to the water.
But
So,
the
like,
curve
you're
only happened
twice
with the curve happened only within
after you change the medium.
glass.
No,
Oh,
only after
sorry,
you change
only
the medium.
within
It started
the
in the
curve
air.
only happened within the index of refraction gradient. So thank you for proving my
cannot make
point.
that happen without putting a different medium there. Why are you arguing that? You can't make that happen with. That's why you had to
It's
put the
because
medium.
you don't understand what's happening there. Thank you.
Okay, then show me
Flat
without
Out
putting a
Hero
different
makes
medium.
a
Show me
very-
one time.
Flat
can't
Out
show me
Hero
one
makes
other
a
incident.
very
You're proving my
strong
point.
point there in saying, why are you arguing? So, is there another topic, perhaps, because Flat Out
Oh,
Hero,
I have
I
one.
don't think understand this. Is there another topic that we could talk about, or maybe another a different topic that Flat Out Hero would like to bring on board? Because this
Hey,
is a horse that has been beaten to death years ago.
and my phone's about to die. I got.
Are you getting in trouble? I hear people yelling at you.
Hey,
How many people?
pick that up.
I am. Hold on.
seems as though Flat Out Hero might be in trouble.
So,
Dude, did you not
sounds
clean
like
your
it.
room? Dude, you got to clean
I
your
would
room.
just like to make. I would just like to make a point to all flat earthers who may sit there on the chat or who may, listen back to this at a later stage. We have modern scientific theory. You are absolutely welcome to challenge scientific theory. In fact, it is encouraged. It absolutely is. Please challenge scientific theory. But before you do that, you have to understand the theory that you are trying to challenge. So I would advise any flat earther out there to take all that energy they spend on trolling the anti-flat earth channels to go out there and maybe do a bachelor's degree in physics or something along those lines. And once you graduate, you will find something amazing happens. You will find that the evil scientific establishment out there will start giving you money to try and disprove everything that you have been taught during your bachelor's degree.
I think that's a good.
And that's
Well done.
Yeah.
And he had dropped out.
Yeah, because I think the thing that Flat Out Hero, the problem that he had is that he couldn't conceive that he might be wrong on that. I think that's the issue that he had.
That's true. He is not open-minded. And I think AB Science made a good point there that the scientific community is open-minded. It's an open invitation. Please prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Because we all can benefit from it.
That's the thing. It's what I do for a living, right? It's my main job. What is the number one remit of my job? It is someone has an idea. The theory says that this is going to work.
Yeah.
Make it happen. But what is intrinsic in that is, well, make it happen or prove that my idea is wrong and this is science, because we disprove stuff.
Yeah.
It is simple as that. And although on the surface it may appear like I am trying to do stuff and make it, make interesting new things with using the scientific theory, what I'm actually doing at a mathematical level is trying to disprove the theory. And that's how it works. That's how science works. And any flat earthers out there, fine, if you want to disprove the theory, go ahead. But firstly, you have to understand the theory that you are trying to disprove.
Yeah, because that's the big thing, when you don't understand perspective and you say perspective, you're not really saying much. I can't remember what something that I was thinking about earlier, and it was when it comes to Sleeping Warrior, who didn't want to be here because he wants to create a video on me instead of actually just having a back and forth on a stream. Typical. So essentially,
That's going to be fun.
yeah, it probably will be fun. But essentially, his issue is that he thinks that one thing being shown disproves everything else. Like, he thinks that if he can demonstrate density, it disproves everything else. And no, he's not disproving anything else. He's just demonstrating one thing that we know to be true.
Well, there is the issue, and it's a common misunderstanding, and you see this all the time in the media. In the chats, just a shout out to people who has read a recent headline saying substance X will give you cancer.
I've heard that all.
Right, and you will have heard that a lot. Actually, that was rhetorical. People in the chat don't even bother. The thing is, it's that these journalists will base that on one study, and they haven't properly considered the entire body of evidence. And that's the issue. It's the fact that one guy can write a paper and spin some shit around. This is some evidence on the contrary. And just because that one bit of evidence says the contrary, or even a one bit of evidence which supports that theory, it doesn't mean that it is accepted in the scientific consensus. And you need lots of repeats for that before it gets accepted in the scientific consensus, right? Orphan Red recently talked about some people who measured the proton size to be a bit smaller, several orders of magnitude smaller than was previously established through scientific theory. Now, her rhetoric was clearly about, they tried to suppress it, bloody, 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 blah. That was absolutely not the case. People tried to repeat it, but until it was repeated, people did not accept that as credible evidence. And it's about repeatability, and that's the key point, right? Just because one paper says a thing, that doesn't mean that that is the truth.
But to be fair, in all my experience of talking with flat earthers know repeatability well, but just not the repeatability that you're talking about.
They like to repeat themselves.
Definitions of the they like to repeat themselves. Yeah,
that makes it true.
But there's an actual quite interesting point, and you know what I'm about. It's about actually learning shit from science. But there's a very interesting point because pharmaceutical companies actually exploit this. Because pharmaceutical companies will actually perform lots of trials of the same drug, and just by random chance, that they will see that one trial will show that there's a positive and statistically significant result of that drug, and they will publish the results from that trial, but they will shelf the results from all the other trials. And what they're doing here is taking advantage of this publication bias, because there's this paper saying, yeah, we've received these great results, but they're ignoring the 90% or 95% probably of all the other results, which are saying, nah, it makes no difference.
Yeah.
But just as a slightly, just as a, cover my own ass, and just a warning, clearly don't use that as evidence to move away from medical advice, right? This generally tends to happen when comparing the best available treatment to new treatments which are slightly altered. Overall it makes very little difference.
Can I say something quick here?
Yep.
The Kitsune Cavalier. That's it. Thank you. I pronounced it wrong.
Okay, but yeah, I think when it comes to these things, the problem is the problem with flat Earth is that they don't understand these things. They try to disprove them, and in showing that they don't understand them, they end up failing and disproving them. They say, oh, gravity, why won't water stick to a ball? And it's like, well, if you get water sticking to a ball on Earth, you've just disproved gravity. if it's doing it in the way that you expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one example does not disprove.
Yeah.
It is a piece of evidence that goes into the bucket of evidence for support or disproof of that thing. So it's the accumulation of evidence that gives us confidence.
Well, this makes me think of Daniel Pratt with pouring the water on his ball and watching it fall off. And I have a sneaky suspicion because, okay, most of the water falls off, but some of it will still stick to the ball. And if you actually were to scale the Earth down to the size of that ball, I reckon that the layer of water on his basketball or whatever the fuck he's using is probably still thicker than the oceans.
Probably, actually.
just just on the basis of electrostatic interactions and all of those things.
Yeah. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll read the super chat now. The super chats I got. I've got two super chats. First one was from. Well, I've already read it, but I tend to go back and make sure that I've just read all of them from a Dark Apocalyptia X, and that's for $2. And he says I'm getting a fifth soon. That was when we were talking about monitors. And then we've got Michael Locum, who actually proved that the Earth is flat to me. His disk, it's flat. Therefore, the Earth is flat. Eggs are round. Therefore, they're in on the conspiracy. And that's his...
Eggs are round?
That was very good.
Yeah, well, eggs are curved, so therefore they're in on the conspiracy. I enjoyed that video, honestly. But yeah, he donated $2 and said, "My Dixie wrecked and I can't bend my leg." And I understood part of that. I understood lig. But I don't know what...
What's a leg?
Lig, I said earlier that Simon Dan doesn't have any legs.
What's a league?
League? What? It's a distance, right? 10,000 leagues under the sea?
I'm not sure. All I know is that I have legs and Simon Dan doesn't. Although the agent tried to take my leg the other day. I feel like...
That is payment for entry into SEAL Team 6.
Yeah. But I don't know what bend is.
Beamed?
I don't know what bend is. I know what...
There you go.
Bend?
I know what bend is. That's when you bend something, like you can... Like I can bend... Shit, I don't have anything to bend. Actually, I do have a cable which I can bend. I can bend this cable. See? I'm bending it. But yeah. Anywho, let me just switch over to the outro screen so I can get... God damn it, I clicked on the wrong thing. So I can get something to eat and so that I don't die. That wouldn't be very pleasant if I died.
Well, is Sally Struthers showing up soon with some cornmeal? You'll have to look that up.
You see, I kind of understand who Sally Struthers is now, but I don't really know.
Well, oh, you better pull it up quick.
Last
find one.
last thing will be me looking up. She better not be a porn star or anything.
No, she's a kid soap opera.
Okay.
Here, I have a
I just pulled her up
time.
on Google.
I have a timed link though for you.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
She did good work, but it was just the joke.
Used to this. Used to this? How can a human being with eyes and ears and a heart get used to this?
Yeah, duh.
All in the Family. Yes, All in the Family. Was not a soap opera.
Yeah. So anyhow.
There you go.
And anywho.
Yeah, there's young Planarwalk in the background.
Yeah, people do. People do note how skinny I am, and I am going to the gym so that I don't look. I can. Hopefully, I'll get a few more muscles than Scotty Storm has.
There you go.
Actually,
Well, if it is and about, just take my exercise regime. Yeah,
what's
lots of.
what's that? Lots and
Lots of beer.
Just drink lots of beer.
Yeah, I'm just going to actually load up one thing that I want to point out. And I'm not going to... I'm just got to let it load up, and I can't remember what the issue was before. Something about me not doing something right. But yeah, I'll just load this one thing up so that I can show you. So, all right, so it should be all right. Actually, I think it might have been all right. All right. Come on, load up. There we go. So here we go. If I just share screen this. It's not. It may not be the Pythagorean theorem, but it's a bit of a level up from the Pythagorean theorem. Shit, was OBS? There it is. Debate window, properties, and then it was. Shit, it's not coming up. Studio. Oh, there we go. Wait, no, it's not there. Oh, there we go. Found it. Here we go. Visual Studio. And
ooh, you're programming.
yeah. So this is using trigonometry. And it's I've got A10 or Arctan, so you got to know about this shit to be able to.
Gone high level, Drake.
What?
Gone high level, Drake.
That is my stuff there, baby. That is dirty.
Oh, you've got
Dirty
inverse
code.
tans and shit going on. Oh, you bad boy. Oh shit.
But yeah, this is just simply something to work out where something is in relation to another thing. And what basically I want to point something towards something else, I think. Yeah. Wait, no, I want to point something away from something else. And the thing that it's pointing away from is the center sort of thing that I want to do. So, anyway. Just thought I'd mention that. But anyway, I'll just make sure there's...
Ooh.
What?
I don't approve of your curly brackets. So, you know.
What curly? Oh, the ones that are...
For me, the curly brackets have to be on the next line after the if. You have to open your bracket. Oh. All right, sorry, go on.
Anyway,
Oh shit! I just missed it. It somehow rendered at minimum resolution. Fuck.
anyway, leave a like and subscribe if you like that stream. Be sure to check out all my other stuff. I feel like my views are going down for some reason. It's not very nice. But anyway,
So watch it again, people.
yeah, watch the stream again, or just have it on mute while you watch it, or just let it play in the background. That helps my views, and it also helps my watch time. But anyway, I'll see you in the next stream or the next video. Between you and me, thank you for... Where's my pick? God damn, I don't know where I put my pick. Shit. Oh wait, I've probably got a few in here. There we go. Any requests?
Creeping Death.
Don't know that.
Battery.
Don't know that. Give me a band name and I'll see if... What?
Metallica.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a lead plugged into this, so...